Hey, happy Monday, everybody. I know Bless still alive, but I didn't want to keep my people waiting too long, so I had to go on and bust up in this bitch real quick. I just bust on up in this bitch. So, happy Monday, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome back to the den, bitch. The den been on lockdown, girl. Clink, clink, lockdown. I wasn't feeling too good after my date with Ben. I didn't shape back as fast as I normally would. So I took some time and a little energy. I took some time to get my energy back up. I only showed up one day, and that was when I was making a response video to a pig with a set of pearls, bitch. Okay. And once I did that, I lied right back in that bed and laid my ass down. And I must say, giving myself those few days was a blessing because I feel a hell of a lot better today. That day with being can zap you, bitch. It can zap you real quick. So let me just speak to the people because I don't want to get started and then people start acting like, oh, what's she talking about? I don't like that. Okay, I don't like that. So to keep that from happening, I'm going to go ahead on and speak to everybody to allow folks to an opportunity that want to come and hear what I got to say to come. So we're going to say happy Monday to Camp Me. Let me put it in live chat. Camp Me, PDP, Queen J, how you doing? Miss Liz, that Virgo, don't get it twisted. Angie, Cool Gamer, Dolly's Game, Operation. What's going on, honey? Hey, Coolin. And hey, Pizarro Afterlife, aka Spam. Rennie T, good morning. And all you people that's in the bushes, good morning. Okay. So, child, even though I was on a small little hiatus, I was able to. Well, let me start here first. I want to say shout out to Q for the Secret Santa thing she did on the 1st. I wasn't feeling my best, and I thank Brianna for going up there and doing my number because I really wasn't in a position to where I could talk very well to the people. So thank you to Brianna Simone Pettyville for coming through and pulling my number and letting me know what I needed to do. And I was watching it from the clouds. And what up? You is kind, you is smart, you is important. Hey boo, how you doing? Now, I watched from the bushes. And even though I had passed out, hey boo, I had passed out. I did my part in the Secret Santa. Just seeing how people was being blessed in that moment and how good it felt to just give back to the subscribers who, if it weren't for y'all, girl, what would we be doing all year long? Nothing. We'll be on our channels talking to ourselves. And if it's ever a time where I can give back to the people, then definitely I don't have no problem with being involved in something like that. I feel like we should do it more often, not just at Christmas time. And that's hopefully people will do it more often with the subscribers. Just say thank you. You know what I'm saying? I had made it in my mind I was going to spend one set amount of money. I was on a budget, bitch. I was on a budget, right? So I went over there. I did my part. I blessed who I was going to bless, and I was just watching. And as I was watching, it just like, I don't know, y'all. I just felt like, you know what? Even though I said, yes, you are, baby. Yes, you are. Even though I had set myself at a budget, I found myself going way over that budget, way over that budget, because it just felt good to give somebody something sometime. If I could reach out to all 12,000 plus of y'all and say thank you and give something to you, I definitely would. But what I had, I made the best of. You are smart, you are kind, you are important. That's what I said. You are smart, kind, and important. Okay. So it felt good to be a part of that. And I hope that everybody who was in need was touched. I hope that everybody that was in need was helped. It's a blessing. It's truly a blessing to be able to give back. And again, I don't think that's a big thing for the content creators to come together and do, because if it wasn't for y'all all year long patronizing our channels, some of y'all give love through the Cash App. But for us with monetized channels, if y'all didn't watch us, we wouldn't be making nothing on this application. We'll just, if y'all didn't come and look at us, we'll be talking to ourselves. And that's a horrible feeling. It is. It's a horrible feeling. I remember when it was just me, myself, and a very few people in my chat. And I look back at where I was and where I've grown, and it just makes me eternally grateful. It really does. So shout out to Ronnie Q for that great idea. Shout out to Brianna Simone for being my voice on that day. I was very happy to be able to do. And don't be scared. If the spirit moves you to be a blessing to somebody, follow that spirit. Because whatever you give out, you're going to get it back tenfold. Now, don't do it just so you can get something back. But do it with the faith that whatever you're giving out, even if you need that, it's going to be given back to you tenfold. Because you weren't selfish. You were selfless in that moment. So I'm grateful for that. I am. I'm very grateful for being able to be a part of that, and everybody that I was able to bless last week. I hope that it helped, or at least make you put a smile on your face that somebody out here gives a fuck about you. You ain't just a number in a chat room. You're individuals who actually have things going on in their life. You know what I mean? Sometimes everybody needs to feel a little bit of love. So on December the 23rd, over on my Bayou Conversations page, I will be having my version of being able to give back to the people, which is through the Ugly Christmas Sweater contest and Christmas party from the den. We're going to take the party from the den to the Bayou. You have a chance of winning anywhere from $50 to $25 cashed out to you that night. It's going to come from me. I haven't taken up any donations toward the pot. That's just what I wanted to do for the people that want to be involved. It's all inclusive. I'm not doing it simply for the black sector. The beef sector. All sectors are invited to come and show us your ugliest Christmas sweater. My judges, Mr. William Carruthers and Miss Angie Vlogs, will be in the building that night to judge. all contestants will have an opportunity to drop their cash apps down into my chat. And if anybody in the audience wants to bless them, they can do that then. You are amazing and you are appreciated for everything you do. Thank you so much, Lady Proverb. I try my best, I try my best to give back to people. And I do it not worried about how that individual gonna act in weeks and months to come. Because when it's laid on my spirit to do something, you be obedient. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be obedient. And even if it turns out 3 days later that them people give you their entire ass kiss, don't feel slighted. Just know that you did what you're supposed to do and watch you be rewarded. That's how I see things. Okay. So did the Secret Santa thing. Had fun doing it. Christmas sweater party is going to be over on the Bayou Conversations page. One of my mods will drop the Bayou Conversation page down in the chat so that those of you who are not subscribed to that channel can go there and subscribe and turn your notification bell buttons on so that when the party starts, you'll get a notification. We will have the Den's official DJ EXO in the building on that night. She will be, rocking the ones and twos for the people, making you feel good, and you don't have to participate. Just come through for a good time. Ain't no telling what the spirit gonna lead me to say, child. So come through and have a good time. Hey, cousin, how you doing? Come through and have a good time. Now, let me see. I got a list, child, of stuff I need to talk about. Okay. The talk of the town has been this credit card thing, this credit card failure down to the Mickey D's. Y'all, that done happened to me before. It don't mean I don't got no money. It just means that sometimes them cards, especially that damn Cash App card, it'll trick you, girl. You'll know you got money on your Cash App. You'll know you got money on your Visa. You'll know you got money on your MasterCard and get up to that window and that shit decline. And it ain't necessarily something on your end. It could just be a glitch. Remember, this is man-made shit, right? So I'm not gonna make fun of Jay Wilson for a damn thing. I don't think this shit funny. It is what it is. It ain't that deep for me. It ain't that deep. So I don't care about that part of the situation. I'm not really interested in exposed gate that is currently happening with a content creator down here. That ain't got a damn thing to do with me. But, I'll tell you this. Whatever you put out, ma'am, is what you get back. And I don't feel bad, but I am watching. Believe it, I'm watching. I am watching. You laugh. I mean, I would have probably laughed at my damn self. Because when this shit happened to me, Purple Peach, I thought that shit was fun. I was like, oh, bitch. I hollered, girl. I hollered at myself. But, I ain't going to make it no commentary because I'm at a place of peace with him right now. So I don't think the shit funny. But it is a chuckle. It's a chuckle. It's not a malicious laugh. Let me put it that way. It's not a malicious laugh. And that's why I stand with that. Now, some people y'all don't realize all it's gonna do is get him paid, right? Y'all do know that, right? Because the people are laughing about it and trying to say he broke it, broke. All he gonna do is go. CJ Wilson know the assignment, child. Yeah, I done handed them the wrong card before too. All he gonna do is go over there and get a coin. He gonna go there and get a coin because his rider lives ain't gonna see him without. Even though they know that he ain't gonna be without, just to put it in your face, they're gonna bless him abundantly. And I ain't mad at him. Get money, man. Get money. Understand the assignment, do the homework, and execute the plan. Do what you need to do. Hey Kingsman, how you doing? Can one of my mods please drop the Bayou Conversation page down in the chat so that the people will know where to go on December the 23rd. Now, what I did want to touch bases on is this conversation about homosexuality and salvation. I sat back in the cut this weekend and I watched everybody give their opinions and whatnots on the situation. And my opinion is simply this. Y'all know I have children in the LGBT plus community, right? And the only thing I ever told my children was to develop your own relationship with God. Because see, your relationship with God is a personal thing. And you's a fool if you think God don't love the gays. Why wouldn't he? He created them. A lot of people like to throw the Old Testament in people's faces and tell them that it's an abomination. It's a lot of abominations that we all do each and every day. So with that being said, ain't no sin greater than the other. Don't come in my face and tell me that a gay person can't make it to heaven. I'm not biting it. I'm not eating it. I'm not going with that. We ain't doing that. That ain't happening. Develop your own personal relationship with God, because that's what it is. It's a personal relationship. That book ain't nothing but an interpretation. Keyword interpretation. Okay? Absolutely. We all fall short of the glory each and every day. And I'm absolutely not finna tear nobody down. I have fought because my children have been attacked before for being who they are. I always raised them to be confident in who you are. Be careful in this world, not just because you are gay, but be careful in this world because everybody ain't your partner and everybody ain't your friend. Some people will sit right up under you to bring about your demise. So I'm not going to go too deep with that because I believe that God loves us all equally. We all get the same 24 hours a day to be the best version of ourselves. And I'm not here to put you in the heaven, and I damn sure can't put you in hell. But what I can do is tell you that I'm not judging nobody based off what their preferences are. God, what if he did that to each and every one of us? You know what I'm saying? People don't understand how to just let some shit go. I don't have nothing, and I felt that way. I struggle. When my daughter first came out to me, I did struggle with that because I was conditioned to believe what I was taught as a child. But then I had to make a decision. Am I gonna let what she choose to do with her life, which ain't nothing that's gonna kill her? Am I gonna let that tell Willie and Tisha I said hi, honey? Am I gonna let that kill me? Am I gonna let that destroy our relationship? I chose my child. And I chose both my children, and I chose to become educated and to move away from what I had been taught all my life, because I learned in that moment that everything I was taught in life may not necessarily be true. Remember, it's an interpretation. Okay? So I was cool with that. I ain't had no problem with that whatsoever. Okay? I had no problem with that. I can't tell gay people that they ain't gonna get to heaven. Hell, I'm worried about am I gonna get there. I can't worry about how you gonna get there, and I ain't solidified in how I'm gonna get there my damn self. Hey, Egyptian goddess. So my thing is just focus on your damn self. Work on your own salvation. Don't worry about somebody else's deliverance or their salvation, because your job is to make sure you get there. Don't worry about what the next man get there, how they gonna get there, or what they doing so wrong. I can't stand these finger pointing ass bitches. I swear for God, I ain't nothing worse in this world than a finger pointing ass bitch. They want to run, and that's the reason why the church has broken down so much so over the last few years. Because the one place where you're supposed to be able to go, come as you are and be accepted, they got too many rules and regulations and stipulations and things of that nature. I ain't got all that. All I tell my kids to do is just be the best person that they can be develop your own personal relationship with your creator. And don't nobody need to understand it. As long as you and your creator understand, that's all that matter. What kind of silly shit you want to say, spam? Hey, YouTube cameras, how you doing, pretty lady? I thought that was ridiculous, sitting up here judging people. I ain't got no right to judge you. Judge not, lest ye be judged. If God ain't nothing but a God of love, then why is it so hard for y'all to let this shit go and stop trying to put gay people in hell? You ain't got no dominion over gay people's lives. And how dare you try to tell them that they gonna miss heaven because they live the life that they wanted to live. And I do believe that homosexuality is something they're born. I believe it's a born thing. Some people get into it because things have happened to them and they were traumatized. But for the majority of the people that I've seen, my kids weren't traumatized, child. Ain't nobody touched them wrong and it sent them to the other side. They were normal, healthy kids. But I ain't gonna sit here and lie and say that I didn't notice when they were small, things was different. I knew that there was something different. And by the time the children came out to me, I was like, oh, is that all you want to tell me? Because by the time my second child, that's a member of the LGBT came, I was already conditioned because I had went through the changes. I had gotten the education with the first one. But I always knew, y'all. Deep down inside, I always knew something was a little different. And I never judged my child because my love for my kids mean more to me than anything on this earth. My kids is everything to me. I thank God each and every day that he allowed those people, those 4 eggs, to come down from heaven to be with me. So I'm not doing it. Absolutely. Judge not, least we be judged. I don't like people judging me. Girl, you see how it's thirsty my spirit? I don't like that judgment shit. Love people for who they are. I don't care what you do in your personal life. They ain't got nothing to do with me. Look at my likes. What's wrong with them? Let me see. I got 92 live viewers and 42 likes. I mean, it could go up, but it is what it is. I'm not tripping off it, whether or not somebody like my video or not. It just is what it is. Sometimes I might say somebody, when I say this kind of shit, people get touched in their spirit and they don't want to like it. And that's fine with me. That's fine. Hey there, lady NC100. How you doing, honey? Exactly, Petey Pete. That's it. I already knew. Kings mean I knew. It's okay, boo. It's okay. I don't like this shit. I don't like that. I hate when y'all try to put them in a box like that because I take this shit personal. Because I know what people have tried to say to my kids before. My kids, I would never. I think about all those out here who's in the community that families didn't embrace them. That's horrible. To turn your child away, I would never do something like that. I love my kids for who they are and not what I would like them to be, but for who they are. And I believe in my heart, you're not finna tell me God don't love the gays because he created them. How you gonna tell me that my child ain't gonna have a chance to sit in what we consider to be heaven? Hey there, Dewayne, baby, how you doing? Hey, D-Dot. You're not gonna tell me my babies ain't gonna make it to heaven because they did this, that, and the other. Because while you pointing them fingers at them, it's four of them pointing right back at you. Hey, April, girl. April always tell me she busy. I'm just not going there. So what I would say is govern yourselves. My sis be busy. Good morning, Miss Bliss. I don't like that judgment of the gay people. I took that shit so personal this weekend, watching all that shit. Yeah, I'm good, boo. I took that shit personal. Because how dare you sit there and try to condemn mine or anybody else in the community for being who the fuck they are? Bitch, and tell them that how they live in their life is an abomination. Well, baby, let's break down these abominations because it's a lot of abominations. But y'all only want to key in on the parts that have something to do with the LGBT community. I know it, boo. I know you be busy and stuff. I appreciate you just showing up, April. I really do. And I had a good time over at your house the other day, listening to a little music and swinging my hips from my bed. I had a good time. I don't like that. You can't tell me about my personal relationship. Because that's what it is. It's a personal relationship with God. And people need to keep that shit personal. Oh, girl, you drug. You did more than fry. You drug, girl. You drug. And I was here for it. I don't like that. And it was shocking to me. Can I be honest with y'all? Can we talk today? Can we just talk and y'all not go crazy, and try to just, put me up on the cross like you did, like they did Jesus? Can we talk about it? I took that shit personal this weekend, what they were saying. Because I feel like you're trying to say my kid ain't good enough. Fuck you mean? You don't have no dominion over nobody else's life. You can't, okay. That's the reason why the churches right now having a hard time keeping people in there because of thoughts like what I heard this weekend. And what really touched me in my spirit was all the motherfucking people that sit down here and they accept the gay viewership. They accept the gay dollar. But then you turn around, people expose themselves this weekend if y'all didn't know it. Peep the scene. It's okay for you to accept the gay viewership. It's okay for you to accept the gay dollar. But you think that you are better than them because you live this supposed to be correct life. You heterosexual. Half of the women on here got babies out of wedlock. Y'all wasn't married. Half of y'all covenant somebody else's motherfucking spouse right now, but you ain't gonna motherfucking talk about it. Half of y'all is not doing what you're supposed to do in your real life. You're not walking that walk and talking that talk. But you got nerve to put your mouth on these people. You ain't had no problem when the gays showed up in your chat room to help boost your motherfucking ratings. You ain't had no problem when the gays sent you a cash out, bitch. Fuck out of here with that shit. Stop putting your mouth on somebody else's salvation and figure out your own. And yes, I'm the mother of 2 members of the community, and I love my kids, whether they gay, straight, or otherwise. I got a host of gay kids. You know, some parents don't know how to love their child in spite of, so a lot of them gravitated to me. So although I'm not like a mother of a gay house, I'm mother to those kids who didn't have nowhere to go. I remember my daughter, her friend, they would say you dry begging, Nika, with this teacher. Well, they can say what the fuck they want to say. I don't dry beg. I'm a direct beggar. If you would like to make a donation, let me show you how real I am about mine. I don't give a fuck. Let me put the cash app up there. I ain't know. I ain't never dried nothing. Everything I do have some liquid on it. Okay, I'm a direct. If you gonna call me a beggar, call me a direct beggar, bitch. Cause I don't play them fuck ass games that they play on YouTube. I directly ask you for what I want. And if it by the end of this live, if I said anything that you feel is worthy of a motherfucking bonus on the job, please hit the cash app. Now let's continue. I remember right about the time my daughter came out, and I was struggling because I had been conditioned to believe that what I was raised to believe as a child, that all the gays were an abomination and they were going straight to motherfucking hell. Okay? I was still struggling to get out of that frame set, but I never took my eye off the prize, which is to love my child anyway. Well, around about the time my daughter came out, a couple of her friends did. Some of their moms and dads was accepting of it, but there was one whose parents not only beat her ass, but they threw her literally out the front door with a Glad trash bag. Okay? That girl, it was raining, y'all. That girl came in my house in the rain. Nose busted. You know, you can tell she was one of them light ones, so she got slapped in the face a couple of fucking times and shit. So what am I to do? I'm already struggling to try to understand. I'm still over here blaming me, in a sense, for what my daughter has just told me. But I'm also a mom. Even though all this shit going on, I'm a mom. And I know that this child just needs a place to lay her head and to feel like she's okay. Okay? Thank you. Anyway, I let her come into my home. Okay? I let her came in my house. I let her stayed over here with us a little while because I was worried. Because not only is it difficult for these kids to come out, a lot of these kids end up ending their lives. And I didn't want that situation for her. So for over a year, I allowed one of my daughter's friends to be in this house. And I nurtured her. I loved her. I built her back up where her parents had torn her down. I was there for her. Because I didn't want her to be one of them throwaway kids that lose hope, that feel like something wrong with them. Ain't nothing wrong with you. God made you imperfectly perfect just the way you are. I don't feel that you're not going to go to heaven. I don't feel like you're an abomination to the nations. And I just gave that baby all the love that I can give her. After about a year, her and her mom were able to have that conversation and she was able to go home. But I just don't like this shit. I watched this weekend from them clouds and I was like, okay. So I'm gonna say this. Okay. If you feel like that gay people are an abomination, then I don't know why you come to my channel. Because this channel is LGBT friendly and I'm an advocate. I will argue a bitch down. behind their community, because so many of them get thrown away by their loved ones simply for being who they are. So you don't need to come around me if you got that kind of mindset about gay people. I don't subscribe to that, and I'll argue your ass to the ground. But a lot of y'all exposed yourself, and members of the LGBT community, plus community. I hope y'all paid attention over these last couple of days. I hope y'all was watching. I hope y'all was watching. That's the most important thing I want to tell y'all today. I hope y'all watched what was being said. I hope y'all looked in them chat rooms and saw what was being said and govern yourself accordingly. Was your kid scared to come out to you? She was nervous. My daughter was nervous. She was. I got a whole video on my channel under my Storytime playlist, and I tell you exactly how that happened. And I tell you, I struggle with it because I was indoctrinated to believe something that was ingrained in me from childhood, and I had to reprogram myself and look at that thing like it sure enough was. I just want y'all to, members of the community, man, y'all look at how these people, listen to what these folks said this weekend. Look at them chats and see what they were saying in them chats. I'm not trying to turn you against nobody. Do what you need to do. But I'm going to tell you something. Go where you are appreciated. That's all I'm going to say. Go where you are appreciated. Because this weekend, I was hot under the collar. If I would have came down here Saturday, I probably would have fucked up some shit for myself. Because I was pissed. A lot of people showed their true colors this weekend. And not everybody, but a lot of people did. And I just need y'all to know that's how they really feel. So when you in there giving your hard-earned gay dollar, just remember. When you giving your gay view, remember. Go where you appreciate it, bitch. That pissed me off. It made me mad. Mm-hmm. Now, I liked Rico's mama. I did. I liked her. Now, she said some stuff that kind of made me like, girl. But for the most part, she is very entertaining. And I can appreciate someone who is honest. Even if I don't necessarily agree with what everything she said, I will always say she had a right to say it. And that was different. She was very entertaining. She was very, very entertaining. And I thank Rico for allowing his mom to kind of step into his world here on the YT and to speak her truth. You ain't gotta believe, you ain't gotta go along with everything she said, but damn, she got a right to say it. And did it turn me off? No, it didn't turn me. It made me, some things made me like, ooh, but I ain't got no judgment for mama. To thyself be true. Okay? That's how I feel about it. I enjoyed listening to her tell her story and how she looks at life. I can't judge her because, girl, I ain't perfect over here sitting over here in Denville, okay? Over here in Dentown, we ain't judging. It just is what it is. So I don't have no judgment. I found her very engaging. I did. I found her very engaging. I wasn't mad at nothing she said. Did I agree with everything? Hell no. But I did enjoy listening to her talk. So shout out to you, Rico. Even though we don't have the best relationship, I like your mama. Now some people gonna do more than what they probably should with that, and that's on them. I'm just telling you from the lady. Your mother was very, very interesting, and she can hold an audience, honey. She can talk. She ain't shy. So thank you for sharing a piece of your real life with with your YouTube audience. And I hope everybody is kind as it pertains to that lady, as kind as you can be. I'm not saying that you can't think how you want to think about her, but I ain't had no problem with her. Because if I can sit up in these chats and listen to some of the shit these people that I deal with on a day-to-day basis say, then I can damn sure listen to Rico. It was entertaining, but exactly, Miss Rennie T. Some of that stuff I ain't go along with, but I can't knock him for allowing his mother a voice to speak. She was entertaining to me. Now some things I was like, "Oh, girl," and I understood why Rico wanted her to kind of pull back some because he knows the atmosphere that he lives in. Okay, he knows the atmosphere that he is right here. Everybody have a right to live their life as they please. Absolutely, Miss Rhonda. I agree with you on that. And who am I to judge that? It ain't my position to judge nobody. It is what it is. So that was my take on that bullshit over the weekend. Worry about your own salvation and leave other people motherfucking salvation alone. You get right with the Lord for yourself. You build your own relationship with your creator. It's a personal thing. Ain't got nothing to do with what I think, what YouTube think, what nobody thinks. It's your personal relationship with him. And I can assure you, he love the gays. Don't think he don't. It's a fool that think that way. And I'm done with that. I ain't like this shit. Now, as I was scrolling through the YouTube sphere, we about to go into a little bit of the messy, and then I'm gonna jump out the messy. As I was going through the YouTube sphere, oh yeah, y'all please check my community board. DKL has a new page called DKL Everlasting. I shared it on my community board. Would you all please, if you enjoy the sounds and the entertainment of Duchess Kelly Love, please go up to my community board and please put subscribe to his channel and hit that damn notification bell button so that each and every time he go live from that channel, you'll get a notification and you can go over there and support. Let me see if I can find that channel real quick and I'll put it down here in my chat so that y'all can go and subscribe to DKL Everlasting. I thought that was a cute little commercial he did asking us to do it. Okay, here's his link. If you want to subscribe to DKL Everlasting, there is the channel link right there. And also going along in the chat is the channel that we'll have the Christmas party on, Bayou Conversation. So that's flowing in the chat so y'all can get into it. Now, I was scrolling through. Did y'all know we got our own version of TMZ around this bitch? Did y'all know that? What we do, we have our own version of TMZ, formerly known as Team AJ. He don't do no. I don't know if Team AJ a girl or a boy. So I'm gonna say, do anybody know the gender? Is that a female or a male? Nobody cares. Okay, well then, TMZ was over there. What he do is basically he watched the lives and he give you a small breakdown over on his community board. He don't do no damn videos, but he does do community boards. Used to be it's TMZ. I don't have his link or anything like that. Okay, so if any one of my mods got his link, y'all can put it in here. But I don't know the link. I just know that I go over there when I see things being shared, and the way he does it, he gives you a breakdown via the community wall. I think that's kind of ingenious. That I ain't never thought about that. He's a community board content creator. Okay, that's what he does, and I check over there to see what he say, you know. Let me see if I can grab AJ shit real quick. Charlie keep bringing up that, and I don't. If Jay was in here, she'll be able to help me out because she knows what I'm talking about. Mm, let me go to Breeze page. Breeze page shared his community post from yesterday. So let me go over here and snatch his channel link off of her page. Okay. I got it. Hey everybody coming into the den. Oh, child, I done put X. All right, that's the page. But he does it after the day. I'm gonna stop sharing videos on my wall. Well, you do what you gotta do, baby. Do what you gotta do. But there's Team AJ, and he does community wall posts and things like that. And I want to talk about a particular post that he made over there on his community board that had something to do with the lady, right? So he shared a community post from Tofu Alley 2, right? That's Sir King. Okay. And in that video, in that post, Sir King says, and I quote, in case you are all wondering, every time Lady Nika says that her circumstances have changed, that's code for she has moved in with her man. My question to you, Sir King, is why are you so worried about what the fuck going on in my personal goddamn life? Could it be that I possibly found something that worked? You know, a dog, the sun shine on a dog ass every now and again, and I ain't weak. So I was never going to stay. You should never stay in the same spot that you were in 2 years ago, bitch. If you every year you should be able to look at every year and see where you elevated at some point. And my elevation don't have to be on the back of another motherfucker. But if that was my situation, would I be wrong? Would I be wrong? Or should I be like a lot of women who lay up with a nigga that can't do nothing for them? My cat deck sure have your motherfucking ass talking a lot. And I don't see why. Is my cat facts like crack and you whack for even bringing that shit up? Just until your money come out of transit, don't worry about what the fuck I'm doing over here on my channel. When I say that my circumstances have changed, it ain't necessarily got a goddamn thing to do with me moving in with no man. Why do y'all think that women can't elevate without the assistance of a man? Huh? Why do you think that women can't improve their lives unless it's by way of a man? And is that any of your business? Absolutely not. It's none of your damn business. Stop trying to find out why my circumstances have changed and make yours change. Stop worried about what I got going on in my life. It's none of your damn business. All you need to know is that I ain't the same bitch I used to be. You so fucking stupid that you think that a person can only do better by way of off the back of somebody else. Bitch, I like to accomplish things in life for my damn self. Now, everybody who has assisted along the way, I forever will be grateful. But don't you ever put me in a box of being so small that I need a man to elevate myself. Are you fucking kidding me? And that's a disrespect to every motherfucking independent bitch on here, that you would think that the only way my circumstances can change can't be that maybe I got a business I don't talk about. Huh? Maybe I got an inheritance I don't talk about. Huh? Oh, this one gonna really throw you. Maybe I got an education that I completed. And now I'm working in that field. You don't know what the fuck my situation is. All you know is I said my circumstances have changed, and they have. But it ain't got nothing to do with no damn man. The man is only a compliment to what was already happening, baby. That's it. Don't ever put me in a box to say that I am not, as a woman, all I can do is change. My circumstances can get better. No, bitch, I leveled up around this bitch. And I didn't have to level up on the back of now, motherfucker. I took charge of my own life. But don't, me and you ain't alike. Don't do no shit like that to me. And that was very offensive for you to even put your mouth on me like that. That's raggedy. I tell the people my circumstances have changed. It's a mighty poor wind that they never change. Every year, y'all need to, every last one of y'all ought to be able to, on the last day of this year, should be able to look back at 2022 and see what improvements you have made in your life. And if you ain't made none, then bitch, you need to get on your job. Because every year you should be a year of elevation in some facet of your life. If it's not, then that's on you. But don't try to put my motherfucking elevation on the back of an individual that you don't even fucking know. Where I'm located at ain't nobody's damn business. All you need to know is, bitch, circumstances have changed. And if you can't deal with that, then don't watch me. Stop trying to psychoanalyze my words to find out who I am and what's going on with me, because you'll never be able to do so. Worry about your damn self. I can tell you this, I ain't had shit in transit all year, okay? And I do what I do. Not to brag, but just letting you know. See, that's the reason why people say that you live in that month. They call your place the cemetery or avatars go to die, because that's the kind of mentality you got. That's very chauvinistic of you to think that a woman can't get that shit unless she got a man. If you don't shut up talking to me, serve to the king. Get a life, my nigga. Stop trying to figure out what another bitch doing, and stop worrying about my cat facts, because apparently I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I ain't laying with a nigga that ain't adding to my life. But this elevation was going on before he came. Compliment to it, bitch, not because of it. Okay? So get out of my business, Sir King. That was rude. And I'm trying very hard not to cuss you out, because you really don't really mean that much to me. But stay out of my business. I'm not trying to figure out a goddamn thing about what you got going on over there. I don't give a fuck. Remember that booger? I don't give a damn. Okay? Are you still recording live from the Stackable? Right there, your co-host, you been had a co-host, Lemon and the Stackable. Get the fuck on, bro. Now go on over to your channel, put my name in the title, see if somebody come and listen, and hope I respond tomorrow. I doubt it. Now, I'm making good time today. This is the part of the show where I'm finna talk about something, and if you are sensitive to conversations where children or a child has been unalive, then I want to thank you for coming through today. I want to thank you for coming through. And I understand if you have to leave. But I'm finna talk about something, and it is where the truth lies. This is the Casey Anthony interview, okay? I'm not going to get too graphic, but I am going to say what the hell I got to say about this shit, because in truth, I feel like she should have stayed her ass off the camera. It's been 10, 11 years since the death of Kayla Anthony, and I think that if she would have just shut up, nobody would have. All you did was put the spotlight back on you. Now, I don't know if you did that because that's what you're trying to do, But ma'am, some things is best left unsaid. You got away with it. Gone on. Stop trying to change people's perception of what the fuck we know to be the truth. Because this interview was biased as fuck. Okay? This was some biased shit. So people who say she didn't get anything out of it, people that say that she didn't have any creative input on this is a lie from the pits of hell. She definitely had some type of involvement in how this was put together. Now they'll tell you that she did this and it was left up to the person who created this to put it all the pieces together and present it to the audience, but she very much so had something to do with this. Don't be no fool. She had something to do with it because it swayed in her favor. Okay? Now, let me give you a little backstory. For those of you who are unaware, Casey Anthony, 10 years after being acquitted for the unaliving of her daughter, Kaylee Anthony, who was 3 years old, okay, decided she was going to speak out and tell her story for the first time. Okay. I'm going to try to do this review a little differently. And in doing so, I'm not going moment by moment by moment. I'm only going to pick out key pieces that I feel like I want to talk about. And I'm going to try my best to approach this from an unbiased standpoint. But I'm going to put the disclaimer out here right now. I'm biased, bitch. Because see, unlike a lot of folks, these younger people, I was there. Not there literally, but I was there. Okay? I was there when this shit broke. I was a staunch Nancy Grace fan. Nancy Grace followed this from the beginning to the end. I watched every crime show about this shit. So, although I'm going to give it my best, no, this is on Peacock. This is on Peacock. This ain't on Netflix. I'm going to try my best to give this the best I can give it. But I want y'all to understand I'm only but human. And I am going to interject with what I know to be the truth. Because she didn't tell a hell of a lot of truth, okay? It started off with her moving into what I thought was an Airbnb, right? She moved into an Airbnb because she said that she has roommates and she wanted to protect their privacy, which that's cool. But girl, I ain't never know, and I done stayed in an old nasty piece of Airbnb once or twice in my life, okay? Girl, you might take a picture, but why was she over there with these huge photographs that she was putting up on the wall of this child and her together? I would have probably had a photo album because that's what we need to talk about, my child. But all these huge pictures and sonograms of when she was pregnant with Kaylee and all that stuff, to me, that's spelled overkill. So from the gate, I'm looking at you sideways, right? On July the 15th, 2008, Cindy Anthony, Casey's mother, made a 911 call to the Orange County Sheriff's Department stating that her granddaughter, Kaylee, was missing. At that time, Kaylee was missing 31 days. Casey was there. The 911 operator asked, "Can I speak to your daughter?" She gets on there saying, "Yeah, my daughter's been missing about 31 days now." There is no emotion in her voice. It was like she was being forced to do it. But in the voice of Cindy Anthony, the child's grandmother and Casey's mother, you heard frustration, aggravation, and fear. Now, it was the 31. Girl, get out of my head, Purple Peach. It was the 31 days for me. Only in, I almost said only in white America. I ain't gonna go there because this ain't by color. It is, but it ain't. My thing about that was, how many of y'all gonna wait 31 days to report your child missing? Hmm? From there was a chain of events that happened that Casey was eventually arrested and charged with taking her own child's life. She was acquitted of her daughter's unaliving. However, many of the jurors on that trial didn't like Casey Anthony, but the prosecution just did not provide enough evidence where she could be found guilty. The prosecution dropped this case. That's why they dropped the ball, because there's no way, if they would have presented the case the way they should have, that she shouldn't have gone to jail. But see, it's on the job of the prosecution. 31 days. Okay, your child has been missing. So now she's done this interview because, in her words, she wants the world to know what she's been through. We see she's currently working for the lead investigator from her case, and she has become a part of his family because, of course, she is estranged from her own bio family. And throughout this discussion, you're going to see why. Now, cases say she suffers from extreme social anxiety, okay? Now, in your spare time, I need you all to go over to TMZ, not the one on YouTube, the real TMZ. And I want y'all to type in Casey Anthony, and I want y'all to see how this woman was partying the same week that this so-called interview came out. Okay. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying that people who suffer from anxiety don't have no social life. I'm not saying they can't go outside. I know that there's medication. I know that there is therapy, all that. But if you suffer from extreme social anxiety, and you are on the cusp of talking about this case, reliving everything that has happened, knowing that folks is going to judge you, bring up all that old shit back on you, I don't think you will be out having a grandiose time with your friends. See, that partying is what made you look guilty in the first place, okay? I just want y'all to go over to TMZ and check it out, and then you'll know exactly what I'm saying, okay? Not trying to be mean, just being real. So it starts off with I told y'all about the Airbnb, all them pictures and shit and all that shit. Then we were introduced to two detectives, one by the name of John Allen and one by the name of Eric Edwards. And it was a third detective who declined to be interviewed, But we hear the 911 call that I spoke of earlier. And again, Grandma Cindy, she initiated it. She is scared. She is scared, she concerned, she irritated, because I know in them 31 days they was asking this bitch, a girl. I said I wasn't gonna cuss her out, Lord. Father, hold me, Jesus. Okay. 31 days. I know that them grandparents was asking her, at least the grandmama, where is Kaylee? So for 31 days, you must have fed them some form of bullshit that made them feel like, eventually it's about how much favor she was shown. Girl, I'm telling you. But now they've made this call. I had an issue with how they kind of honed in on the dad. He did something. He did something. But this bitch ain't innocent. Girl, I said I wasn't gonna cuss this lady out. Okay, let me just. The child is now missing, right? This girl did not carry on the characteristic of a woman whose child has been missing that long. We learned in the first episode that the father, which was George Anthony, was a cop once. He did something and ended up losing his job, and they moved to Orlando where he works security. But see, he was one of them. I'm always looking for the next come up. He was somewhat, I guess you could say that he was an inspiring entrepreneur, if you will, right? He had dreams of making it big. Okay. It said in the first episode that he stole money from their account and from a 401k investment that was supposed to be from his wife. I got questions about that as well, but we're gonna leave that shit alone. Cindy said that it said that Cindy was the breadwinner and that they basically pretended. Okay. She said that her family was the all-American upper middle class family on the outside, but it was a whole lot going on inside of that Casey, that Anthony household, right? In the first episode, she admits she lies, right? But she wrapped that up in, I only do this stuff because it's my way of dealing with trauma. The trauma that I suffered inside of my home that I grew up in with my parents. I lied. Yes, I did. But I only lied because of all the trauma that I had suffered growing up in the house with a father who was torturing me. Okay. Now, y'all, I followed this case since 2008, and I watched the crime shows breaking down, this family, namely Casey. And Casey was a huge liar. Now, I want y'all to, if y'all can, I think they call, what is this? It's a podcast, y'all. They did it in I think 5-part series. And I remember listening to I think it's called Crime Weekly. I'm not sure, y'all. I listened to so many podcasts. Let me see, did I write it down what the name of the podcast? And then we're going to Crime Weekly podcast. That's them. Okay. Let me tell y'all why I know I off the bat didn't believe this girl and nothing she was saying. Now she says she lied, but she lied to cover up. That was her way, her coping skill throughout what her father was doing to her inside the home. No, Casey lied just to be lying. Okay. Do y'all know one of the biggest lies she did was lying about graduating? I went over there and I listened to that Crime Weekly podcast because I had to re-listen to that shit again to go on top of this shit she telling me in this interview. That girl had people come from all the way out of town. They done had parties for this girl. She lied up until the moment she couldn't lie no more. And that was the day of graduation. Got these people coming from out of town. They at the Coliseum, the auditorium, wherever the fuck it was. And she then admits, I ain't graduating. I said it to let y'all know the how deep these lies go with this girl. She lies. Even her friends say this girl do nothing but lie. She got a PhD in fucking lying, okay? And the thing that makes it so diabolical is Casey lied when she didn't have to lie. She told the police after the 911 call that the last time she saw Kaylee was when she dropped the baby off at the nanny apartment. Police go to the apartment. There is no answer at the door. Not only is there no answer at the door, the apartment that she said she dropped her child off of, Ed, had been vacant for months. So then she switches the location. Let's not forget Zanny the nanny. She switches the other several different locations claiming that Zendaya, aka Xana the nanny, would be at those locations. And every time the police went there, nobody at that residence that she said this woman would be at knew of that lady. She ain't had no damn nanny. So she been lying to her parents for months, saying that I'm going to work and I'm dropping Kaylee off at the nannies. And she ain't got no job, girl. We gonna get to the job, but she ain't got no job to go to, and she ain't got no nanny. This lady she told them that she worked for Universal Studios in Orlando. So the police get together. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. So, but she tells these people, now they done busted the lie about the nanny. They done went to all these locations. They done discovered that the nanny was something she made up. They didn't want to talk about that in this bias ass interview. They allowed her to cover this shit up and lie. Every lie that she told, she's going to cover it up with it being a part of trauma from what her father had been doing to her. But let's continue, okay? She created a lie that to her parents for months that she had this nanny, right? She then tells the police that I work at Universal Studios Orlando. They get her together and go over to Universal Studios because, according to her, she worked in HR. She's going inside of Universal Studios, and she's speaking to people, and folks, some people were speaking back, but you could tell, and the police said that they could tell something was amiss here. It was like, yeah, they speaking to you, but there's a difference between speaking to a stranger and speaking to a motherfucker that work with you every single day. They found that to be strange, but they carried on with it. This bitch didn't tell these people the truth until she had got off the elevator and walked down the hallway to what would have been a dead end of the hallway. And that's when she turned around and said, I don't work here. I'm pointing out how this girl lies. Now, you done lied about the nanny. She don't exist. Well, she do exist, but she wasn't your nanny. You done lied and said you work at Universal Studios. You done had these people walk you through Universal Studios to what was supposed to be your office. Get on the elevator, get off the elevator, walk down the hall, and you realize you're at a dead end, and you turn around and you admit, I don't work here. So you have wasted police resources and time on some bullshit. The detective said they could tell something was off, because although people were speaking back to her, it wasn't the type of speak like if I were every day I see Dewayne on YouTube. Hey, Dewayne, how you doing? But then it's a new bitch and I ain't never seen her before, and I'd be like, hey, because she spoke to me or came in here. Hey, how you doing? But nothing about that interaction says that we are familiar with one another. I'm not speaking to you because I'm familiar with you. I'm speaking to you because I feel like you just it's the cordial thing to do since you're speaking to me. Okay. This interview was a waste of her time. In the interview, she said she did work at Universal Studios, just not at the time she told police and her parents that she did. According to her, she worked the nightlife to earn money so she could move out of her parents' house because she was tired of being in there. Bitch nigga team come here. Oh, shit. Okay. Well, after the Universal stunt, she was arrested and charged with lying to police and child neglect. She was convicted of that. Mm-hmm. But she say she was just a convicted liar. That was it. She ain't did nothing wrong, y'all. She ain't never did nothing wrong. Things get interesting after that because police found several social media posts where she complained about being a mom and how it was interfering with her social life, and that made her then a person of interest. Cindy Anthony later and calls the police, and I think this is where the ball got to rolling in. She called the police and told them that her daughter's car smells like a dead body was in it and that the police needed to come and check that shit out. The last person said to see Kayla Anthony alive was supposedly the father. He said the last time he saw that child, Casey was on her way to work and had Kayla in the car about to take her to the nanny. Okay. Casey said the last time she saw her daughter was when her father brought her. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Oh, shit. Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Y'all know when the egg call, I must stop everything. Okay. So she said the last time she saw her child, this the revelation, y'all. She said the last time that she saw her daughter, her father brought her to her, cold, wet, and heavy. And then he took her child off and said everything would be okay. And she sat at that house for hours. And then she ended up going to her boyfriend's apartment and just pretended everything was okay because her dad said it would be okay and that Kaylee would be fine and things would get back to normal sooner or later. I seen all those interviews, all of them. That's how I know that this lady is lying. Okay. While she at the boyfriend's house, the boyfriend got fucking roommates, right? While she there, pretending that everything. Now, see, let's break that down. If somebody bring you your child and she cold, wet, and heavy, and you say that you think that you already done said your daddy molested you, right? You already said that he molested you. Why would you let him leave with your daughter in what, by her words, seemed to be an incapacitated state? You just let your daddy take your baby off after, by your own admission, she was cold, heavy, and wet. And he told you that everything was going to be all right. Just act normal. So your form of acting normal is going to party, getting tattoos, hanging with your boyfriend, Tony Lazaro, who was the boyfriend at the time, but he didn't want to be interviewed. But his roommate spoke. And they said that she seemed like nothing was wrong. Casey said, I only did that because my father told me it was going to be okay. She said, when y'all saw me out at the clubs, I wasn't partying. My boyfriend was a club promoter. So I was working as his assistant. I wasn't out having fun. I was helping him. And out of the 31 days your daughter was missing, you spent 3 weeks doing this because you was living at this boy's house. Now, I don't know if they thought that, because bitch, how old you think we is? Girl, I remember this girl not just, she wasn't there in the capacity of being an assistant that's helping her boyfriend with his with his club promotion. She was partying. She was getting tattoos. She was living her best life. All while your daughter is said to be missing. And by your words, the last time you saw her, she was cold, wet, and heavy. and your daddy, who you said was molesting you, you allowed him to take your daughter off and tell you that everything was going to be all right. And you believe that, girl. You believe that. They spoke to one of Casey's friends. I ain't write her name down because at this point I don't give a damn. But she said she do not believe that Casey harmed her child, but she did say Casey was a liar. Now, this ain't the friend who she stole the checkbook from. Oh, let's talk about the friend she stole the checkbook from. There's video footage of her at various stores. Now, she wasn't at high-end stores. She wasn't at high-end store. She wasn't down at the motherfucking Coach store or the Burberry or none of that other. She wasn't in the high-end store, but that bitch was at Target and stores of that nature. And you can clearly see she writing checks and buying shit. But do you know out of everything she bought, she ain't buy nothing for her daughter? Thank you for coming by, Royalty. You ain't getting nothing from your daughter. You done stole somebody's checkbook and you just writing. Bitch, you writing like it's your book, okay? But you ain't buying nothing for your daughter? Did you not buy something for your daughter because you knew she wasn't going to come back? Were you living your best life? You still going along with this story that a nanny done took your child. But you done lifted one of your supposed to be friends' motherfucking checkbook and you out here writing checks and buying shit, but you didn't buy your daughter a pair of socks, a pajama, a little cute little headband. You know every little girl need a headband, child. She ain't get her none of that. Girl, these just points I'm making. She said her family was awful. They looked like the all-American, wholesome, upper-middle-class family, but daddy didn't work. He lied and he cheated. Mama worked 16-hour days as a nurse to keep up the lie. He stole money out of mama's retirement. I don't know how mama didn't know that he took that, but anyway, girl, we're going to let her go with that. She said from age 8 to 12 years old, her dad would come into her room almost every night and molest and R-word her. Then at age 12, he just stopped. And that's when her brother Lee took up molesting her, but he didn't rape him. She said the trauma of what was happening is why she was like she was, how she lied all the time. That perhaps that's even why she didn't even know who Casey's father was, because let us not forget, doing all of this, 2 men were pointed out as Casey's father. Each one of those men did DNA, and it came back. You know, Mari said that he is not the father twice. I think she ended up saying it was a one-night stand, and she was drunk and high. And when she woke up the next morning, she realized that she had sex, and boom, a couple of weeks later, she was pregnant. Boom. Now, the investigator that was working on her case when she was on trial, she became a part of his family, and he claims she's been through intensive counseling, and today she is not a liar or a thief. Who believe that? Back to her family situation. She said she don't think her mama knew what was happening, but she also kept saying that her mama dressed her like a little girl long as she possibly could. So, girl, what are you saying? Girl, you said that your mama didn't know, but she kept dressing you like a little girl, and he stopped messing with you around age 12. So you trying to say your mama was grooming you for this man? Girl, see, this the shit. Am I wrong to think that that's what she was trying to say? It wasn't the attorney, it was her investigator. It was the chief investigator on her during her trial. She lived with him right after the trial, and she became a part of his family. He says she been through extensive counseling, and today she is not a liar or a thief. That's why he trusts her to work with him on his cases. She said that she did not believe her mama knew what was happening between her and her father, but she did feel like her mama kept trying to dress her like a little girl long past the time that she was supposed to be dressing like a little girl. Now, I don't know, maybe it's me. You know, I'm a contrarian. Sounds like she's saying her mama was grooming her for her father. In the second episode, she begins to tell what happened to Kaylee. She said she and Kaylee was laying down, and apparently Kaylee got up. And shortly thereafter, her father woke her up asking her where was Kaylee. And so now there is a massive hunt throughout the damn house to find little Kaylee. Okay? They looking around the house. They done went in the backyard. Now, there's a pool back there, but the ladder ain't up to the pool, so there's no way that the baby could have got in the pool unless someone put her in there, right? But there are they had a little playhouse for her back there, and she's just back there looking for her daughter. The daddy on the other side of the damn yard looking for the daughter. And then she said that she turned around and she saw her father holding Kaylee in his arms, and she was wet. Because there was no ladder at the pool when they were back there looking, she bypassed the pool because there was no way that little Kaylee could get in there. But she turned around and her father had Kaylee in his arms and she was wet. She said her dad said everything is going to be all right, and he left with her. And that was the last time she saw Kaylee. I said, bitch, you know what? You didn't call the authorities because her dad said everything was going to be okay. She said daddy told her to be quiet, and she listened to him. Because remember, Daddy George had traumatized her so badly. She was like, he was like Debo. He had mind control. So she did what she was instructed to do. No questions, just sit and be normal for 31 days. Because she believed Kaylee would somehow reemerge. And she went on like nothing had happened. Girl, I got to light my joint. The police even tried to give this girl a way out before they started really dogging her ass out. They tried to help her with an explanation, asking her, was this an accidental drowning? And she refused, saying that the ladder wasn't attached to the pool. So there's no way that Kaylee could have gotten in the pool unless she was assisted. Do y'all see the contradiction here? You don't know what happened, but yet daddy appeared with Kaylee cold and wet. How do you know that she didn't drown? Child. Casey was adamant that didn't happen. She didn't drown. Then she said that her father told her it was her fault. What you mean it was her fault? Why is he saying that to you? I told y'all this is a little bit different because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this bullshit right here. And I can't give y'all no review on this shit based off solely what she said. I gotta bring in the questions. So it's a little different. That's why it's not really a review, it's a discussion. So now Casey is locked up. And she found a fiend, y'all, while she was in jail. She found a fiend. A female who was locked up for transporting marijuana. They made contact by writing letters and using sign language to let each other know that the letter is being left in a book, right? In those letters, she began to open up about the abuse she suffered by her dad and her brother. Now, mind you, until she was locked up, she ain't never speak on it. She didn't mention her dad at all. She couldn't speak on her brother because she said she had forgiven him. So she told her mama about the molestation from her brother, and her mama's response was, "Oh, is that why you such a whore?" Girl, was some shit going on inside that Anthony household. Now, she didn't speak on her father at first because, according to her, she believed that Kaylee was still alive, and her dad kept reassuring her that everything was going to be okay. Just hold tight. She's going to come home. Everything's going to be fine. We saw the jailhouse conversations where dad is saying, everything going to be fine. We going to find her. We going to find her. But that all came to an end on December the 11th of 2008 when a meter reader was out on a job and found what he believed to be human remains. Kaylee was found not far from the Anthony's home. Duct tape was used to bound her. By the way, that same brand of duct tape was found in the Anthony's home. The blanket that she was wrapped up in was with the Winnie the Pooh on it, came from Kaylee's bedding in the Anthony's home. The laundry bag that was part of a set came from the Anthony home. So now she is a suspect. But my question began to be at this point, this is where police and the prosecution, in my opinion, dropped the ball. Because inside of the Anthony's home, there was Cindy, there was George, and there was Casey. Why wasn't deep questions asked to the parents as well? Because y'all didn't like her. And because she did exhibit weird behavior, y'all focus solely upon her. And I think that's part of the downward fall to this case. Now, I ain't no lawyer. I just wanted to be one once, right? Child missing 31 days. Frantic call to 911 comes through the Orange County Sheriff's Department. Grandma say, my granddaughter been missing. Daughter get on the phone, confirm that. Grandma sounded like she frantic as fuck, right? Casey did give these people a reason to be suspicious of her. But why focus solely on her? Why wasn't the parents grilled as well? The only one I think didn't have nothing to do with that, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, was the mother. The case and their daddy know something. They mishandled this case, and by them, I mean, the prosecution, the defense team came through and did their fucking job because the prosecution, starting with the police, did not handle this right. Yeah, the girl looked guilty. But when you got a homicide case, you don't rule out nobody. Usually, they do hone in on the family. Y'all know when somebody get killed, they always looking at the family first, but they didn't like Casey. For good reasons. She did look guilty, but they only zoned in on Casey. And that's why I say they dropped the ball and justice wasn't served for little Kaylee Anthony. In part 2, they go into all the different, the way the prosecution was able to break down everything that was said. All the defense point of views and possible scenarios, the defense was able to break that down, and they talked about that in episode 2. Okay, I wasn't finna write all this shit down. In the investigation, it was even said searches on how to unalive someone was found on the family computer. But see, they all shared their computer. They all had each other's passwords. So the search could have been under Casey's login, but any one of them could have done it. And that is why another reason why I say all of them should have had deep talks or interrogations. I think that the prosecution lost this case because they began to get cocky and they started listening to the public. During this whole scenario, Casey refused the plea deal. And because she remained adamant that she didn't kill her kid. So we go to trial. Oh, and by the way, in order to get the indictment, their key witness was her father, George Anthony. He also was the prosecution's star witness. He took the stand a couple of times. We don't know what he said to the grand jury because, of course, that is sealed. But whatever he said led to her indictment. During her trial, attorney Jose Baez brought up the abuse that she had said that she suffered at the hands of her father. Now, according to her, she had no clue that he would do that. He didn't even come see her the morning before trial resumed. She figured that he didn't because he didn't want her to be prepped. So he called her. It was raw emotion. He recalled her dad coming into her room and the things that he did to her from age 8 to 12. They even mentioned about accidental drowning, and she kept saying that couldn't happen. And that episode ended basically with her finally watching Kaylee's funeral. Because now in her mind, she didn't put it together. She didn't figure it out, y'all. She gives us the revelation. As she's watching her daughter's funeral some 10 years later, she's catching certain things that she traced back and recalled her and believed that her daddy had possibly attempted to hurt her daughter. And he used a pillow possibly. This is her story. She thinks that her father may have went to try to fool with the daughter. And the way he used to do her when she was a kid and he would molest her is he would put a pillow over her face, but she believed something went wrong. And he ended up accidentally taking her life. She said she think that her dad put her in the pool, then woke her up claiming that she's missing. We need to find her, right? Oh, they got rid of the chloroform. They weren't able to make that chloroform factor stick. So I don't know what they did with that. So when the daddy woke her up, he had already harmed and possibly ended little Katie's life and dumped her in the pool. Then he claimed to Casey that he found her. She was wet and she was cold. And she believes her father took little Kaylee to that wooded area, believing that by the time she was found, no possible traces of the assault would be present. Now, that's her new theory as to what happened. And the investigator that she works for and the same guy she joined his family agrees that he believed that is what happened. Now, I will say that her daddy lied a lot, but the apple don't fall far from the tree. And I'll say this: I don't understand why I bring all this shit back up, because the only reason I see she did this was for money. I didn't care for this interview. Based off of everybody that was there during that time, do y'all feel like that interview was necessary? Do y'all feel like anything was learned from that? That last episode, she was just basically putting it all on her daddy and absolving herself from any accountability. So I'm going to say it again. What she says happened. The autopsy did not come through and say nothing about that little girl. Her story is because the way her father would molest her, which is coming into her room and putting a pillow over her face, she feels like her father did the same thing to her daughter and possibly ended up smothering her. When he realized what he had done, he dumped her into the pool and then came and woke her up. And when he woke her up, hold on, I think I wrote that in my notes. Come on. Girl, hold on. I wrote that shit down. The autopsy report, okay, yeah, it was death by undetermined means. So I don't know what the fuck. It's listed as death. Okay, hold on, Dewayne. Death by undetermined means. It don't say nothing about no asphyxiation or none of that. It just says that the chief medical examiner who testified that she determined Kaylee's manner of death to be homicide, but listed it as death by undetermined means. Hey, Dewayne, what's going on?
Hey, Auntie. Hopefully you can hear me.
I hear you.
Okay, because I don't have my headphones in. I do believe that she is guilty, and then, like I said in the chat, that nobody believed any damn thing that she said, because if you really think about it, that baby was missing for 31 days. She out in the club, And then you told me something about that the boyfriend that she's with now, the boyfriend was a club promoter or whatever the fuck he was, a DJ or something.
She ain't with him now. She the Tony Lazaro. Remember that was the boyfriend then that she was dating. And she said the only reason why she was in the club was because she was his assistant and he was a club promoter. She wasn't out partying. She was helping him.
That was a lie because she was partying because when that, like you just said earlier, she would sit up there and take that baby over there to her mama house. So if her mama and her daddy was sitting up there together and that her daddy was molesting her, why would you take your child into another dangerous environment if you were trying to get away from it?
She lying. Let me tell
That's
you
why I
something,
said she
Dewayne.
lying.
Even the pictures, if this man did, now I'm not saying the father didn't have some shit with him because he lied a lot too. But if your father had molested you like you said that he did, you would never, according to her, she ain't never let the man be with the daughter by himself. We saw video footage when all this shit was going on. Family videos where this man was very much so with that child without her being in the picture. There were
Yeah, because
times
she
where
was
this
too
baby
busy
was
going to the
being,
club.
yeah, she was actually leaving the child with her parents. If your father the monster that you say he is, why did you ever do that? And then look at all the pictures of her sitting all in her daddy lap as an adult and all of that shit. One thing I can tell you that I know about when you have been molested, you don't want to have no close to, you don't want to be up under them like that. I
Exactly.
am a survivor of child molestation. My stepfather could never, there are no pictures of me and him being that close around each other. There were group photos, but there was never, and I would be on one end of the motherfucking photo, he'll be on the other with other family members in the middle. I never allowed myself to sit up under him like that because I knew what he had done to me. My children, when my kids were small, he was still around. My mother was gone, but I never told anybody about it other than my grandmother. My kids don't know who that man is to this day. I would never allow him to be close to my kids. And also, that is why I always was so hard on my kids. I ain't play that. We can have sleepovers at my house. You ain't going no damn well. Because when that happens to you, your guard is forever up and you don't trust nobody. I never trusted anybody with my children. I never
Yep.
let them do that. Let me go spend a
I
night
believe.
at such and such person's house. Hell no. You ain't going no damn well. Now, I tried to keep their childhood as normal as possible, but we wasn't letting no kids go. I wouldn't even let my kids get on the church van and go to church with them. Remember that damn red church van used to come through because they came from Longview, Texas. Used to go in all the
Yep.
black
And he used to go all
neighborhoods.
around and they would take them kids to the jailhouse and stuff like that. I
Yes,
remember.
I never let my kids fool with that because I didn't trust that shit. My molestation as a child made me on guard with everybody. Nobody is going to be by themselves with my kids. I didn't even trust the females either. Cause women do the shit too. I was on high alert. My kids used to get mad because I wouldn't let them do certain things. That's when
And
I
you know
calmed them
what?
down.
My mama used to get mad at me because I really did want to do that. Going to it's supposed to be like Bible study or something. And but when my mama found out they was going to the jailhouse and letting the inmates come up to our faces and everything, my mama said, "Hell no." So yeah, you not lying about that.
Longview Baptist Church. That's the name of that
Yep,
damn
it
church.
was
That
It
red
sure was.
van used to
Yep.
come. They used to come come to Louisiana. They'd be out in Texas, and they would target black neighborhoods. Try to get your kids all wrapped up and taking them to church. They wanted. They want. Even one time, one that had told me something about. They had talked to one of my kids and said they wanted to get baptized. I said, if he do, he'll get baptized at our church. He won't be getting baptized with y'all. Well, you can come. No, I can't come. I ain't coming. And my child, and I got in their ass about that because what we don't do is be talking to strangers. She lied. That girl lied, man. She act like that interview pissed me off. I was like, how am I gonna talk about this? Because I'm gonna be biased. I tried to tell the story the best way I could, but the bottom line is this woman should have stayed quiet. Because at this point in time, nobody was thinking about no Casey Anthony. Now, just last year, she got into an altercation at a damn club when her and the woman that she got into it with were dating the same man. Are
Yep.
you
And
kidding
that's
me?
the thing. Yep, she did. And it was just like, I think that's why she did it, because I don't know who the man she with, because she had a whole bunch of relationships and stuff. So I don't know who the man that she was talking to, but I think that she did that just so she can be free from that baby and not have that that burden on her being a mother, so she can get with that baby. Because it did come out in an interview that she was trying to get pregnant by another man.
Yep. Something wrong with her.
Some is really wrong
Dewayne,
with that
she
hoe.
got away with it. My whole thing is, girl, the world knows you got away with it. Why bring this back up? You didn't have no, she ain't got no more kids. She tried to, but the world has pretty much moved on from that. Why would you? It ain't nothing stand out about you that people would be like, "Oh, that's Casey Anthony." Now everybody gonna be looking at you again. Were you trying to bring this all back up? And the people that was talking to her that did this interview, they were biased because you dropped
They
everything
very
your
much.
father left. Your father may be a crook. He may be a lesser individual, but girl, you got some involvement in this as well. I wasn't moved by them fucking tears. Oh, did you see the part where she claimed like it finally hit her that her father could have
Yeah,
been molesting her
that's
child?
what I'm saying.
I
Like,
said, let me get the fuck on
but
off of
see,
here.
that's what I was saying in the chat. It seemed like to me that she was sitting up there trying to play crazy, like to play the crazy, get that plea deal, and playing crazy, like, oh, something happened to me. It's my father. But all the while, nobody heard anything about the father. So when she sit up there and did this, that's why I said this whole set that up. But how you gonna put everything on your bottle? I mean, and how you gonna put everything on your father when you dug the grave for that baby? How you gonna do that? She dug the grave, and she was with a man when she done that, Auntie. So I'm saying that bitch is guilty, and whoever is on her defense, they need to get prosecuted as well, because she did. She buried that baby in a shallow grave, and
Yep.
now she want everybody to feel sorry for her. She's coming out with this bullshit. Nobody would even thinking about her.
She should have just kept her damn mouth closed.
Exactly. Because if they let you go, why you sit up here just talking about it? Because you know what? It's gonna be just like some Emmett Till thing. She gonna probably get on her deathbed and sit up there and think that, okay, well, I did it. Now I'm finna pass away. Now I actually killed my baby and I apologize. God let me into heaven. Some type of shit like that. And you know,
I can
prosecute
tell
her.
you this. What could happen is she might not make it to that old age that Carolyn Bryan woman came to. Or the one that caused Emmett Till's there, she might not get there because you reopening wounds to people.
Yeah, and you know
Everybody
what?
was
I hate to
everybody
say
was
it,
captivated by this story.
and I
We
hate to
followed
say it,
this
and I think
shit.
you know where I'm finna go with it. I hate to say it, but somebody gonna kill that woman. Somebody gonna kill her. I hate to say it, but somebody gonna get her.
That interview did not help her at all. I don't know what she thought that interview was gonna do for her, but it definitely did not. It did not make me feel like people had wronged her. All of us who said she had involvement in her child's demise, it didn't make me change my perspective at all. If anything, now I'm doubling down on the shit because bitch, now you showing me that you diabolical for real. You done set up over the years. You done, and did you notice how she had all these technical terms to explain the trauma and how they got all these experts who worked on her case back then to come back and say that she was going through this and that and how she had to put all of these feelings. Now I do believe that some victims of assault they do suppress stuff. I do believe that. I believe that
Yeah,
some people it bothers them so bad
yeah.
that they put it in a spot where they can be safe and still function. But I don't believe that that's the case with this woman. This woman took accountability for nothing. The only thing she was willing to say was, "I lied. I did lie, but I didn't lie about
And
this."
she told y'all she lied. And I'm like, okay, well, she should be prosecuted, and that investigator should be prosecuted as well. She lied. Didn't nobody tell her to stick a shovel into the dirt? That's what people missing. She buried that baby herself. All
Yep.
for her then saying lying to the public and saying that that baby was missing for 31 days while she sat at the party and getting tattoos.
Living her best life.
Wasn't she though, Auntie?
That girl was living her best life. And when she was on that interview saying, "You never saw me with drinks. I was at the parties because my
That's a lie.
boyfriend was a party promoter, a club promoter, and I was helping him out." Yes, you did have drinks. Girl, you was partying it up. And I didn't like how they had the two roommates of the boyfriend, the old boyfriend. I didn't like the fact that
Yeah,
they
because
sat
wasn't he
here
on
and had
drugs
them up
too?
there, and then all of a sudden, when they put these pieces to the puzzle together, oh, now they
He
rethinking.
on
At first, they was going at her saying that she didn't act like anything was wrong. They were
right.
saying that they can't imagine how a woman baby could be missing 31 days and she don't care. But then at the end, when she came up with this revelation about what she believed happened to her daughter at the hands of her father, the interviewer tells them about it and they acting like, "Oh, I can't even believe it." One of them had to take a break from the interview talking about they needed a moment. Like
I
they
see
had just,
that.
come
I'm like,
on,
what the
bro.
hell you need to take an interview for? And this bitch, we never heard this, and this man happened like 2 or 3 years ago. Why you need to take our interview now? That investigator needs to get on. He need to be prosecuted as well. Because now all of a sudden, and she sit up there and she just talking because she can't keep her goddamn mouth closed. But she actually did this. And I'm tell y'all another thing. She sat up there when they made that movie on Lifetime. She's the one that approved it. And then when she didn't like how it came out about her actually doing the thing that she did to her baby. She didn't like it, so now she's trying to sue Lifetime. And
Mm,
then she come back out here and she wants to try to, oh, let me just tell y'all what actually happened, and it still don't make sense, Auntie Nika, it still don't make sense.
no, Stacey, it's on Peacock. It's on the Peacock app. It's called Where the Truth Lies, and it's the
Yeah,
Casey
it's on
Anthony
Peacock. It's
interview.
free. Y'all watch that. If y'all haven't saw it, y'all please watch that.
I don't get it. I ain't get that at all. That shit was, it made me mad because, like, girl, the child has been gone now 10 and a half years. Now you come back with another version of the story, and you're basically dumping it all on your father, like you were so traumatized. And that's what I said. She was prepped. She sat there and learned all the correct
Yep,
terminology to
exactly.
explain this so-called trauma that she had been on. She had been under all this trauma, and that is why some of this stuff got compartmentalized in the recesses of her brain, and now she's coming to this startling revelation. Girl, get the fuck out of here. I'm not impressed. I don't believe her story. I think she could have shut the hell up. You didn't have to say anything.
Pretty
You
much,
could have just
I'm
left
like,
it where it was, because
you
now
out.
the few people that may have believed your story, if they got any form of sense at all,
They
now they
going
believe
now.
more. Now they believe more now that you were guilty than they did back then. There was still some shadow of doubt in some people's mind, and to me, that's where the police, and the prosecution dropped the ball. It was up to the prosecution to prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt, beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt. And they wasn't able to do that shit. They wasn't. And that's how she got out. Because you still got jury members who spoke out after this interview saying that they never liked her, they didn't trust her, but the prosecution couldn't give them a reason to give her a guilty verdict. And that shit is just horrible. Why did y'all even do this?
Well, Auntie Nika, what I can say is if she keep talking like this, you know what they're gonna do. And you know the the judicial system. They will probably reopen this goddamn case to prosecute her because she's talking so goddamn much.
I would love that because there ain't no statute of limitations on murder. So I really hope that by her opening her mouth, it triggers something and these people reopen this investigation because by her own admission, she fucked her whole self up. She should have just shut up. Some people don't know how to just leave something alone and shut up. But no, she wanted to keep going. She keep doing little shit. And this biased ass interview
They
didn't
gonna do
help
her
her at all.
Auntie, they gonna do her the same way they did to the Lion King. The Lion King, they gonna do the same damn thing. She talked so much, and she's probably the one that paid for that interview, and probably that investigation that you was talking about, that was the one she was screwing, is gonna get her locked up. So
You
go ahead,
believe she was messing with that man too?
yep,
I do.
go ahead and open this back up, and her ass gonna be up under the jail, and they gonna get him too. Go ahead and do it.
You talking about the Tiger King?
Yeah, you know how the Tiger King, when he sat up there when they had that documentary about him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he can't get out. Casey Anthony, go ahead and keep talking, baby. They're gonna get you too. And they're gonna get that investigator as well as you. Go ahead and keep talking.
I wish she would fuck herself up. I really do. When I was watching that interview, all I kept saying to myself is, keep talking.
There it
She
is.
was
Just keep
found
talking.
out guilty, so she can't be recharged. Okay, that's right, double jeopardy. They can't charge you for the same crime twice when you've been found not guilty. But she might
What
can't
you mean?
get,
If they reopen that case, they're gonna take that charge off. What you mean? If they reopen
but
it?
you can't retract it.
Oh
She
no, no,
was
no. They
found.
already have a guilty version. I mean a guilty non-guilty verdict. So they probably not. They're gonna try to find something else.
Yeah, she was. It wasn't like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't no hung trial or nothing like that. They actually found that whole not guilty, so they can't recharge her again for that. They can't. Well, they can because we see them doing it, but they ain't gonna do it to her.
No, they ain't gonna do it. They probably gonna charge her for something else. That it might be like a conspiracy for murder or something like that. It might be something, but she gonna get charged for something if they
They
reopen the
can't,
trial.
Miss Toby. By law, they ain't supposed to. But I know this is going to sound really bad, but this is what they did. We've seen cases where they charge you, you found acquitted, and then they come back and find things in that case to try you all over again and get you. Didn't we just see them do that with R. Kelly? They went back and got some of their stuff from 2008 when he was found not guilty and found little ways to interact up in that case and pull some new shit out, and they got him. They could do the same thing with her, but they not gonna do it because see, unlike R. Kelly, she got the complexion for the protection. So they not gonna fuck with her again. But I do say that this was very eye-opening. And for anybody that had any doubts that she had something to do with the demise of her own child, you should know now beyond a shadow of a doubt that this lady did have something to do with it. I wouldn't have never did this. This was, and I hate Demetra not here. I don't think Demetra is from one of her little meetings that she be in because she wanted me to talk about this.
Auntie
But
Nika, I'll ask you a question.
hmm,
I thought that hoe changed her name, just like the girl in Arizona that stabbed that boy. I thought she changed her name.
no, she ain't changed her name. She never changed her name. What she did was try. Now she tried to have a business, and that stuff from that case kept coming back on her, and people were more interested in that than her photography business. So I guess that's why the investigator from her case had her work for him so that she can sustain some type of income.
That's a myth. Cause I thought she changed her name, just like that girl up there in Arizona, doing shit like that, you know. But yeah, I believe that she's guilty. I'm gonna get my butt down, but I really want to come up here and just say, my little one too. But I do believe that she is guilty, and that attorney, that investigator, is guilty by association because that's something that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to fraternize with your clients. And then he sit up there, and then you said something about another one was he declined to do an interview. Don't you think he just as guilty as well?
Mm-hmm. The boyfriend declined the interview.
Mm-hmm.
The third detective on that case that investigated that case, he declined to do an interview. I think all of that is because they know that this is a bunch of bullshit. And
Because
of
they
course,
got a
you know,
piece
the
of
father didn't want to be.
but she's
He
a
didn't
hoe.
want to talk.
They got a piece of coochie from her ass. She's a hoe. She is a hoe. That's why she did that to that baby. She's a hoe and she didn't want that baby because she felt like that baby, to me, she felt like that baby was weighing her down. That's why she did that to that baby. And I hope somebody catch her and strangle her damn neck. She did that to that baby.
She did because she didn't want to be a parent. She did not want to be a parent. It wasn't
So
no
I hope
coincidence.
somebody catch her ass and strangle her the fuck down.
All them damn posts she made over on Facebook about how basically the child was a burden to her. She didn't want that
Yep.
responsibility.
And
She
you know what?
couldn't
That came
be,
out
she
too when
couldn't
she was,
hang out with her friends and do what she
yep.
wanted to do.
She
And
showed
she would talk about it. She was
she
telling
showed
friends that and making Facebook posts about
she
that.
showed did. She put all them Facebook posts up on there and she was talking about I want to go out, and that's the thing. I want to go out and party. I want to go out and party. I want to go this, and I can't do this because I got this one over here. And then she was sit up there and put them off on their mom and daddy. And then her daddy was doing so much on that girl. Why in the hell would you sit up there and take your baby over there? No, bitch. What the fuck? What happened was you probably had a baby daddy that didn't want to fuck with you, and then that baby is all you have left from that relationship, and then you want to get rid of the baby to sit up there and go with the new person because when nobody saying nothing to her when that man was sitting up there buying her Gucci, Prada, and Fendi,
Hmm.
nobody was saying nothing to her.
Nope. King's Bender, that was something that came up in the interview that people had said that she could have possibly been giving the baby Xanax, but that was kind of ruled out that she wasn't doing it. That she didn't get a baby no Xanax. Maybe she didn't give him that night, but I always felt like her involvement was deep. Her involvement was deep. She very much so knows what happened to her daughter.
She knows.
No,
But
she's from this case came out of Florida about 10, 11 years ago, Chad
yeah,
Rep. I don't know nothing about no
she
chick from
knows. And then
Italy.
when up there and talking about her baby would drown in the pool. That baby was nowhere behind that damn house. That baby was nowhere around that house in that area. That girl was the one that put the damn shovel in the ground. Casey did it. She did it.
Yeah, I mentioned that, Miss Toby. I don't know if you caught the beginning. I said that she had ended up saying that the child was a result of an assault at a party she went to. But beforehand, she had charged two men with this child being the father of this child, and through DNA tests, they
I'm
were ruled
sorry.
out.
I'm so sorry, my black woman. But ain't nobody gonna keep. I don't have to step in shit twice to know that it's stink. Bitch, if you sitting up there partying and you getting assaulted, that would tell me to stop going to a goddamn party. I don't believe her by a long shot. I'm sorry, I don't believe her. She wants to go out and she wants to party and drink and get drunk and not take care of her mother responsibility. I do not believe her. I'm sorry, Auntie Nika, you might cuss me out, but I do not believe that bullshit.
I don't. I believe she did it. I always, when she was, when they found her not guilty, I was done. I said, "Oh, baby, that's how complexion for the protection works for them." Because ain't no way in hell she was able to get away. She should have been able to get away with that, even though she had a powerhouse attorney. Jose Baez ain't nothing to turn your nose up at. But child, neither was Johnny Cochran. Okay.
Yeah, and then they said, okay, oh, did they discuss that? Because I haven't got deep into it. I just seen like 2 episodes, but they said something about the toxicology report that she had like um cold medicine in her system.
Because she supposed to have a code.
Yeah, they had like she had cold medicine in her system. So I'm like, okay,
But they
well,
said the amounts wasn't enough that would have caused her unaliving.
oh, it wasn't enough.
That's what they said, child.
But
But you
it
know,
seemed like to me that she was just feeding her that, to just go out and go party.
that's what King's Minute was saying in the chat. She was saying that she think that it could have possibly she gave her a little too much or something. and it caused her to die, and she had to cover that shit up. It was even people that said that her father said that, because remember they had accused him of messing with another woman. I forgot that lady's name, but on the stand, the woman said that George Anthony told her that this was an accident that snowballed. Now, what the fuck that mean?
Mm. Mm.
Now, that's what the woman testified on the stand. I forgot that lady name, and I did not write her name down.
I
But
said,
remember when he was accused of having an affair?
yeah.
The lady testified on the stand that he told her that this was a big accident that snowballed. What the fuck that mean?
Maybe. I mean, I think that she was sitting up there lying too, because some effect is, why in the hell it would have been an accident that snowballed when he was cheating on the wife and not the damn baby.
So I all I know is, anybody want to hit the link and discuss, you welcome to
Oh
hit
yeah,
the link. I
I'll
forget.
get my black ass down.
If anybody want to hit the link, you're more than welcome to hit the link, and we can have a discussion. I'm trying to hold out and see if Demetra gonna pop in. I don't know what Demetra is. I think Demetra is at one of her meetings, and that's why she ain't here. I probably should have came a little later, but I needed to go ahead on and get my live out the way. But that
You did
really
good.
messed me
You
up.
did
That was
good.
raggedy. That lady. Oh Lord, why did this lady even say this? Because now people looking at you crazy all over again. Girl, you had got away with murder. You had gotten away. But now here we are reopening all the emotions, people looking into this
They
case
never
again. Now you
put
might
that on
not
her
can
name.
get caught up again, in the criminal court system. But remember, there is this thing called court of public opinion. Oh, this is Bree. Hold on. And put my banner up because I forgot the first time, child. I don't
Bree,
put
don't come
this
up here showing no titties, bitch.
Nah, I don't have. Um, so I got a question. So, what is the current relationship? Because I'm not watching this because I refuse to get that for any money. But what is the relationship between her and her family now?
She has no relationship with her bio family.
Okay, and what is the reason for that?
Because she's lying on her father. And it's just like, when she did everything, when it first came out, so what my understanding is, when all this stuff came out, it was nothing that came out about her father. And now with this new interview, that's when she started talking about, oh no, I have family issues and my daddy was molesting me and everything. But it never came out in the wash in the beginning. So I think that she's sitting up there lying. And I know that her dad, and Auntie Nika just said her dad had a affair. It still don't have nothing to do with this baby being unalive. Nothing.
So, do
They
you
don't
think?
have a relationship because for years she's claimed that her father molested her and R-word her, Bree. And that right there, the mother, of course, took the father's side. They say she's a pathological liar, and to be honest, her father was the star witness for the prosecution in her murder trial. So
So,
they
so,
not gonna be cool.
so I do have a question. So, do you think that it's possible that maybe her and her daddy could have both been a part of this situation and the daddy turned on the daughter? Or because a lot of times, because let's just say that he did abuse her, a lot of times what happens in those type of families are, or in that type of situation, the next person in line starts to become gets abused. So do you think that possibly the daddy could have been molesting the baby?
Uh
I don't
I
know.
I won't rule that out as a possibility. No, in the interview, she does come to that determination by listening to key things that he said to her about her daughter, or some of the same things he said about her while he was messing with her. So I do believe that there's a strong possibility that he could have possibly been messing with the daughter. I do think that the father knows exactly what happened, but I think what happened was he did turn on her because remember, he testified before the grand jury, and it's because of his testimony that an indictment even was had against her. So yes, I do believe they turned on each other.
I believe they turn on each other too, but like my understanding is, that was a testimony. But my thing will be if that happened and everything like that, she would have said that in her initial statement, but she didn't say anything like that. And then like everything coming out now is like
You know, a
basically
lot,
new.
but a lot of times, and we've seen that just even in the black community, women always protect men. So maybe she didn't tell on her dad at the time because she wanted to protect him. But I do feel like they both
No
are
protection
guilty.
on that, Bree. It can't be no protection if somebody is molesting you and you have some kind of psychological problems. No, I don't give a darn. It's no protection. Cause baby, you not gonna fuck with me in my adult life, and you've been doing this to me. You've been doing this to me ever since I was little, and I'm fucked up about it. That where I can't go on with my life. No, I would have put his ass up. I would have threw his ass up under the bus.
Yeah, but you do know a lot of times when you are raised in that, it's not so simple for you to understand
I mean, I
that.
get it. I get what you're saying because what we was taught that we can't talk about it. Whatever going on in this house, we can't speak about it. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. So I do think that they both played a part in it.
I
I
think she did it, and the daddy helped her cover it up, and the daddy turned on her, threw it all in her lap to
and then
protect him.
how does the mother not see the grandchild for 31 days and then all of a sudden you wanna y'all now y'all got something to say.
Because she was lying to him. It wasn't that the grandmama then wasn't asking about the child, but Casey kept lying until she couldn't lie anymore. I guess it got to a point where she was like, look, it done been a couple weeks now. Where is Kaylee? You keep talking about she at this nanny house. Why we ain't seeing our grandbaby? We've been seeing her every day. Why? What's going on here? What is the lie? So she was pushed into a situation where she had to tell her mama the truth because up until then she had been lying. Remember, she left the house after whatever happened to the child happened and went and stayed at the boyfriend house for 3 weeks of the 31 days. So they don't know if the baby over at the boyfriend house with her or not.
Mm-hmm.
She could have been telling them anything. But then it got to a point where she couldn't lie anymore because the mom kept asking. Now, according to her, during them 31 days in the 3 weeks she was at the boyfriend house, of them 31 days, the father was calling instead of telling her everything is going to be all right. Just act normal. Just act normal. Now, these are her words. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know that is necessarily true because in the interviews that happened with Nancy Grace and others back when this was a big case, a big thing in the media, they were saying they had been asking her, both of them. So I don't know. But she was lying. But I do believe that Casey knows what happened to Kaylee. And I think that father tried to help her cover that up. And then when his shit
Probably
started coming
so.
out, he turned on her.
Probably so. Probably so. But all I do know is that I think that she dug that grave for that baby. I think she did it. I mean, I know in my spirit, I know she did it. She did it. And what was the reason for it? I just don't know, but she did it.
Yeah, the boyfriend did ask her about it. That's why the boyfriend ain't want no part in this interview that she wanted to do this tell all
Oh,
about what
okay.
she been through.
Well, Auntie Nika, was that the other boyfriend or the DJ one?
The boyfriend that she was with at the time refused to interview, Tony Lazaro. That's the
Okay.
dude she
And
was with
where's
when
the
this
baby?
happened.
I don't see no parts of him. Where's the baby daddy at?
She don't know who the father is. Remember, she lied on two men and said that they were the father, and through DNA testing, the test determined that that was a lie. And then she finally just said that she had went to a party, she was drinking, she was doing drugs. Woke up the next morning, she had a one night stand with someone she did not know, and that's where they left it at.
There it is, right there. There it is.
We know Slim Girl, she can't be tried again for double jeopardy. We
Yeah,
know.
we know what this. She can't be. And they'll try to get her for something else.
But the daddy can be tried though.
No, he can't if he wasn't there, and she don't know who that baby daddy is. No, she can't.
But covering up the murder he can.
But you got to prove it.
Yeah, you have to prove it. And I believe
These
that
are
the
just
daddy.
her words. Because although I do feel like investigators didn't do their job. Hold on, we got somebody back here. Hold on.
Hey, Lady Nika.
Okay, hey, how you doing? Now, even though we can't, what was I at? Shit.
Even though we can't prove that a man or her baby daddy or whoever can say anything about her, they have to prove it for her to be tried again for the same thing. That's where
Yeah,
you at.
for the father to come up for on charges, they gonna have to go back into this case and prove that he had something to do with it. Just her word of mouth ain't enough. In this interview, she had this grand revelation about her father, but during the trial, she wasn't even saying none of this stuff. She wasn't. The only thing she said that she's sticking to today is that the baby didn't drown. That was it. And my question is, how do you know the baby didn't drown? If you don't know what happened to your baby, and according to your words, you and your father was out in the backyard searching for the baby. The pool was never even thought about because there was no ladder at the pool
Thank
at
you,
that
Auntie.
time.
It
And
was
all of a
no
sudden you
pool.
turn around and he holding your baby and she's soaking wet and unresponsive, and you let him roll off with the baby?
So
Thank you,
wait,
Auntie.
she's
It
saying
was
that.
no pool.
So she's saying that the daddy had the baby, that the baby found the what?
Okay, she said that her and her baby had went to sleep. Her father woke her up and told her, "Where is Kaylee?" They began to search for Kaylee throughout the house and in the backyard. The pool was not even something she thought to look at, because in order to get into the pool, the ladder would have to be attached, and the ladder wasn't attached. She's not big enough. There's nothing for her to climb on for her to fall in the pool. So the only way she'd be in the pool, somebody put her in there. So they search in the backyard, all in her playhouses and stuff. And then she turns around and her father is holding her child. She is wet, she is cold, and she is unresponsive.
Okay, and so she said then the daddy just went off with the baby.
That's what she said.
And
That would be a whole total lie because the baby was buried in a shallow grave.
Not far from the family home.
Right. So she lying. She lying again.
so she didn't go and think, okay, I need to go see, I need to go figure out what's going on with my. So she what? That don't make sense.
Why in the hell would you let a man? Okay, my thing is, this is my train of thought. If you wake me up and you say my child is missing and we looking, I turn around and you got my baby in your arms and she's soaking wet, cold, and unresponsive. I'm not gonna let you wrap her up in no blanket and take her out. Where you going with my baby? Why we ain't on the phone with 911 to see if we can get some help for my baby?
There
But
it
she
go.
didn't do any of
There it
this.
go.
She just sat at the house for hours, numb. Then she went to her boyfriend at the time, Tony Lazaro, and ended up staying at his apartment for 3 weeks. And through that 3 weeks, she is drinking, partying, and things of that
And
nature.
got a
And
tattoo of his
telling
name
the
on her.
people, she said her father's calling her while she over there telling her, "Don't worry about it. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be fine." So she played normal because she believed that her baby was going to come back to her, and she believed that all the way up until December the 11th, 2008, when the remains of her daughter was found.
Well, you want to know what I got to say to that?
But
I believe I'm shaped like Megan Thee Stallion.
okay, I believe my knees as good as hers.
The fuck?
I can't
And
swim
hey,
like a
everybody,
motherfucker.
I
I'm
know
a
I didn't
bitch
speak to
too.
everybody.
I can swim like a motherfucker, but if my child is drowning, you think I'm not finna jump in that goddamn pool to go get her?
I'm
But
not buying her story. Go ahead, Nubiology. Welcome to the panel, honey.
Hey,
Thank you.
wifey.
Hey, hubby. Well, okay, first of all, I did not watch the interview because I knew I was not going to be able to stand it. Okay, so I'm coming in with very little information. So, first question I have is, was Casey's father ever tested for paternity of that baby?
No,
No, because what I was told, wifey, is that she don't know who her baby daddy is.
I
no,
think it's
he
her father. Now I know I'm going to go all the way here because
would have
this
looked
family,
at
from what I hear, is just they pathological. It could be that her own father is the father of her child. It
but
then
but when they went and looked at the DNA, don't they would have been able to see that it's somebody in the family. They would
if
have
they were searching for that, were they searching for that?
no, they were searching for the. They just tested those two dudes that she gave the charge to.
Hmm. It's just to me, it seems like this Casey broad and her father are. If I tell on you, I got to tell on me. That's what it all seems like to me. And then, I've been debating whether I want to say this or not because it's just so sick. But I'm going to take it all the way here, Lady Nika.
Go ahead.
Ugh. If in fact this man was messing with Casey and it was an ongoing thing, ugh, she could have, if he started messing with the granddaughter, she could have very well saw her child as competition. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that she killed that baby just so she can be in competition and keep her young life because all the things she like to do is drink and party and get tattoos. So yes,
Ugh.
wife, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
I'm daddy's girl. I ain't gonna have this child come in here and break up me and daddy's special
That
bond.
part. That part. It's just all so sick and twisted. But yeah, that just the little bits that I do know, because I did not watch. I have no intentions on watching it. I just can't. But the little bits that I do know, like I said, it is very much they both know. But if I tell on you, I got to tell on me. This is why her story's so twisted sideways, and everybody side eyeing her because she can't tell the whole truth because she would have to tell her part.
Facts.
Brianna, wifey, y'all stay up here. I'm finna drop down.
okay.
Okay. Anybody's welcome to hit the panel. The link is pinned. Let me reach out to Demetri because she wanted to have some input. Let me see if I can find her. But y'all talk amongst yourselves a minute.
Exactly. That's what I was saying because I watch too much of Law and Order Special Victims Unit, and I know when
Mhm.
that black lady going there and she look at that genetics and she look at that DNA, it don't
Mhm.
matter what she tests. She would have been able to see. They would have been able to see that them chromosomes overlapped and that DNA was overlapping. Okay, and they would have been able to knew whether it was on the mama side or the daddy side if that DNA was too strong.
Mhm.
But okay, today in today's world, had DNA testing advanced to where it is today, though? I'm asking my medical professions in the building.
No
Because
DNA,
remember, we were this the night. This was in the beginning of.
right? I know what you're saying, but they knew about genetics back then. I know what you're saying. DNA, because DNA testing back then used to be like it used to take months or sometimes years
Mhm.
for the DNA to come back. But what I'm saying is when it's like a genetic marker or something like that, they would have
Mhm.
been able to know that they would have been able to know that this percentage of the DNA is too strong. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but they would have been able.
don't know how that they. I don't know. I don't know, but that is a point. You make a very valid point, and it is what it is. I don't know how this really played out, but I do know that everything they saying ain't what it is, and that's real.
Mm-mm.
Everybody, it ain't what people.
Well,
Man, them people, it's something diabolical in their family for real.
highlight PR chick comment.
But Casey and Kelly would have shared. Okay, hold on. Casey and Kaylee would have shared 75% if her father was the dad.
And they would have been able to know that when they tested the other two.
Okay. And that was my first question. Was he ever, was that DNA testing ever done? And I know that's sick. I feel icky just talking about it. But this family, and then I cannot really stomach that the mother is this oblivious to everything going on. She got to know something too.
Oh, the mother very much so knew something. I don't think she knew as much as she probably know today, but I do believe that the mother knew something.
Hmm. Or she either in very strong denial.
I don't remember. Are you telling me that the father and the mother were both tested during the investigation? Because they didn't talk about that. And when I go back into the recesses of my memory, I don't remember them ever saying that. I can't tell you for 100% that didn't happen, but I'm just saying that I don't remember that the father and the brother were ever tested. The DNA was already advanced at that time. Okay, so I'm taking it.
Okay.
Something that I do want to say, I do think that because I was listening to the beginning of your live, and what I will say is I do think that Casey is advanced enough and twisted enough that would use molestation as a way to advance her cause. I think that she's had 10 years to come up over 10 years to come up with an impeccable story. So you can sit up there and watch Discovery ID and come up with a good story, so
Hmm.
help you get out of trouble. But that's just my point of view.
Okay, so if the father, the brother, and others were tested, what did they say about the father? Because if they were tested, wouldn't it have come out that Kaylee was the father? George was the father of Kaylee.
Yeah, it would have came out.
Yep, and the FBI witness says that they both were tested and excluded. Okay, so they
Okay.
were tested and it was they were both taken off in 1986 criminal case. They were all excluded. Taken off in 1986 criminal case. They were all excluded. Okay, they were all excluded. So I guess we can't go nowhere with that, but that girl knew. And her father they both knew. Now, my opinion, this is just my opinion. This is all alleged. I feel like that girl did something to her child, and her father helped her cover it up.
Mm.
And they hid it from the mama.
I think they did. Because you can
But
tell in some of her interviews, some of the stuff that was coming out, she didn't know. She didn't know. You can tell
but
by
did
her
you
reaction.
say it was the mother that forced her to make the um to call the child missing? Did you say her mother forced her to make that call?
Yeah. Because she had been asking her for weeks, where's Kaylee? Where's Kaylee? Remember, she went and took refuge at the boyfriend's house. So grandma and them is steady wanting to know where's this baby? Where's my grandbaby, right?
Mm.
And eventually they wasn't taking no prisoners, and that's when they weren't taking no more bullshit answers. They wanted to see the baby. She couldn't produce, and that's when the grandma made the frantic call to 911. But
Wow.
that was 31 days after this child had been missing.
And that's, I can't get past the 31 days. And see, the mistake I keep making is in my mind thinking about what I would have done, but these people ain't normal, so I can't even compare the two.
Oh, they very much so ain't normal. They not normal at all. It's something really deep rooted in that family.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. Yeah, George Anthony seems sketchy because he is a sketchy individual. Because remember, he was caught up in a lot of lies. But my issue was that they didn't press the gas when it was determined that this child body was found and the stuff that she was wrapped up in was directly linked back to the Casey Anthony household. That whole family should have been on the investigation. They all should have been persons of interest and grilled about the whereabouts of how this child ended up deceased, but they didn't. At that point, people were pissed off with Casey and her behavior during the 31 days that people were, during the months that people were looking for her daughter. It seemed like she was totally detached and then living her best life. So she was persecuted in the court of public opinion, and the law seems to have gone along with that. Hold on a minute. Hey.
Hey, babe.
How you doing?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain. Just aggravated with this conversation.
Yes, child.
Huh?
I said she coming up here with her sexy voice. I had to look at the
Hey, everybody.
What you think, Crystal?
Bullshit. You know I got to call it. Girl, 31 days. You know I've been 31 days in a chat the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine with me, if you don't mind, your grandchild don't show up at your house for 31 days.
Why you ain't hear from them in 31 days? They voiced it nothing.
And Newman, that's what the thing that we get caught up in is we are thinking about what would have happened if it was us. I wish I might. I wish my mama didn't talk to my kids for 31 days. Something gonna shake. I eat my brain cells because she ain't playing that. Then the mama, you still with this man, but at the same time, it's all looking like he's got something to do with this. And that ain't no way. How you look at him in his face and you ain't shot him yet? I'm sorry.
Yeah, shot.
That part. Your grandchild went missing, and your grandchild been gone for 10 years. You could have did him real good and be out already. That's just the way I listen. They would have had leniency on you. And you could have been free and said, you know what? I did it for my grandbaby.
That's it.
And nobody would have been mad.
Like that lady who killed her husband, who was molesting the kids at the daycare center.
And nobody would have been mad.
Nobody.
They trying to charge her.
Really?
Charge her. She pled guilty.
She'll get 6 months.
They should give her get out of jail free card.
And should have. Because that's just plumb dumb to me. I guess I have to think of it outside the box of my complexion. Because I have complexion blinders on whenever I have to think about stuff like this.
I can't imagine it, because if I go 24 hours and I ain't heard from Jalen or Christian, it's a problem, baby. And if I don't hear from Colton daily, it's a problem.
Colton run your house when he ain't at your house.
That's right. That's what he does. He is the head one in charge, okay? There ain't no way I could not. I don't even know what that feel like. And that's why I was so angry at the fact that this chick did this damn interview. Like, girl, shut up.
But see, She done pulled a sleeve out of the O.J. Simpson book of "If I Had It, It Would Have Been Like This."
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I felt
yeah.
like that she was.
And
You
the
see what
fact
they
that
got him, right?
both of them had a not guilty verdict, and because of that they knew that they could do all this talking and not end up with double jeopardy. But what she should have done was kept watching his story, because you keep talking, they gonna find something to hang your ass on, and she gonna
Exactly.
miss right behind, and she
Well,
gonna have a hangnail, and they gonna put her in prison for 10 years.
well, I have a question. But what are we to say to the people who actually went to let them and who interview her and wanted her to put this story out there? Do they hold her back for responsibility? Because from what I'm hearing, they didn't hold her accountable for her actions.
If the police
They was
don't hold
doing
you
a
accountable,
show,
ain't
and
nothing
it
I
was
can
about
do.
their coin.
No, I'm talking about Peacock.
No, they trying to make money.
That part.
So aren't they just as guilty as her?
No,
No.
that's a breed. That's like you having a YouTube channel and you interview me and I done some fuck shit.
Yeah,
Just because you interview me,
but I'm gonna
don't
ask
make
you
you.
the real shit. I'm gonna ask you the real shit. What it seemed to me is like they was giving her a green card to just say whatever she wanted to say, and they wasn't holding her accountable.
Morally, they corrupt, but in
Right.
the eyes of the law, they didn't Peacock ain't got nothing to do with that like that. They can't be held accountable. They told a story.
Oh no,
They
no, no.
allow her to tell her story.
Oh, I know that. I know they can't be held accountable. But what I'm saying is the fact that they did this interview with her and they didn't hold her accountable or, grill her or anything. Like, it just seems like she was just able to come and say, well, I think the sky is pink. And they was like, oh, really? Well, why do you feel like the sky is pink?
Yeah, when it comes to them being morally of no good, then that's one thing. But legally, she full of crap, and they are too.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But to play devil's advocate, maybe they were just giving her enough rope to hang herself. They might have had it in mind, just let her talk, let her go, and let her tell on herself.
That too.
That could be it. Cause they did let her just go. Oh, they let her tell all her little side of the story, and let her make up the lies to cover up the lies she told back then and everything else. Even though they knew that with a little research, it's very easy to debunk everything she said. But see, the prosecution failed to do it, so shit.
Hmm.
Let it fly. Let's make a coin. That's what I feel like. They felt like, let's make a coin
Yep.
and let her tell as much as she wants to, but she will have to pay. She may not pay in the courts on this one, but see what she done did was put herself back in the spotlight. So everything she does from now on is going to be scrutinized, and this girl don't know how to just live a normal and quiet life because she was just in court. She was just going through some shit last year for a fight in a bar with another woman over a man. So she don't know how to shut up and just move on. She keep doing stuff. It's something wrong with her.
Whenever she's claiming that she's having all of these anxiety issues,
Hold on,
if
y'all.
if she does have anxiety issues, they're definitely going to get worse, simply because now she's back in the spotlight and people are now going to be looking at her and looking for her. And just to show at Fat Meat Greasy, somebody going to see her and they going to have their child on their mind and go upside her head.
Exactly. If she get picked up for so much, look, I'm finna tell y'all a little story. I'm telling on myself too right now. This happened when I was unfortunately incarcerated for 72 hours, um, some years back in Ann Arbor, Michigan. There was a lady who put her child in a dryer and turned it on. She
Oh my
was
God.
locked up at the same time as I was for those 72 hours. When they brought her in, and I don't know how other jails are set up. That's the only one I ever been in. Everybody in one room, and then you get processed, and you go on to the back by yourself, and you might have a cellmate or whatever. Anywho, it's a day room type situation. In the daytime, they pop everybody's cells, and you can watch TV or whatever. They let her go in this day room, and she was not one of us. All the other women that was in the day room with her was some of us who had been talking about missing their children, and they've been in there for certain amounts of time. When I tell you, you could hear they beat that woman so bad behind what she done to her child, and you could hear it. I ain't going there, child. I ain't look. But from where I was sitting, you could see the guards. They heard it just as well as I heard it, and they let it happen.
And
So, like you were saying, she gonna come face to face with somebody that's gonna have that baby of hers and what she done on their mind, and it's gonna go bad for her. Karma got
so,
all of our addresses, and the whole got us on speed dial. She need to know it.
somebody who's wanted a baby all their life and couldn't have
Mm-hmm.
one, and then they done messed around and came across her. Oh my
Right.
God, she gonna wish.
And it's like Lady D could keep saying, if she would have shut up, we wouldn't even be thinking about it. She could have gone on and lived her life quietly, but she put herself back in the forefront.
Attention-seeking behavior.
Yep.
Proving there's something wrong with her. I mean, she done sat up for over 10 years and got her story together, and this is what you come to us with. A normal person, a normal thinking person would have shut up and moved on, right? But she not. I
Here,
also thought about this, and this hit me last night. Do y'all think that maybe she came back out with this story all these years later? Sometimes guilt eat at a person so bad that
Hmm.
before they actually tell you, check my email. I feel like she could. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Anyway, thank you, thank you. I'll I'll uh I'll talk about it on the 23rd. But thank you. Anyway, guilt eat at people in a different way. Maybe in her own misguided way, her coming out telling this story, she want something to happen. I'm not saying that she wants to go to prison because we know she can't under the double jeopardy thing. But do y'all think that guilt is eating at her? That's why she can't shut the hell up. Because it couldn't be to clear her name, because this definitely didn't clear her name.
so like a confessional,
Yeah, a
sprinkle with a whole.
confession without a confession. You see
But
what you
here's
know
the
what I mean?
thing: that to confess and what you talking about ain't nothing but a whole bunch of lies. That ain't a confession. What's that supposed to fix? That ain't releasing her brain of nothing. What that supposed to do?
Hmm.
It's to have had this many years and to have watched all the TV that she done watched and she ain't came up with no better story than this. It's that for me. Your brain ain't no more creative than for you to come up with the story that you told. Mm-mm. I'm good on
That's
that.
arrogant as well. Arrogant people just expect us to believe whatever they throw in our face. You know that, right?
Narcissistic.
Mm-hmm.
A mess. But that was really all I wanted to say about the whole situation. Y'all got anything else y'all want to add to the story?
Mm-mm.
No, ma'am.
Demetri, girl, if you catch this on the replay, I did look for you. Um, Maybe we can revisit this again if you would like to continue the conversation. But she done got on my damn nerve. Hold on.
Somebody had to go.
Yeah, hold on. It's on site.
Now, see, you can't cuss me out. I can't stay up here long. I took a break just to come up here and see. I'm listening. See, I've been here the whole time. But I took a break, a cigarette break, and let my dogs, okay. But listen, all y'all was saying the right thing, but y'all almost hit it on the head. She's a narcissist. She thinks she done got away with something.
Yes.
She's a narcissist. She thinks she done got away with something. And then this might be God, because I don't know the scripture, but God said he'll have them dazed and confused. They'll be telling on themselves. So let her keep talking. I didn't watch it because I couldn't watch it, but she's a narcissist.
I cannot sit and let a bitch slide in my face for real, for real. About some YouTube shit, yes. But about some real life shit, bitch,
not even got no YouTube shit, but you know what I'm saying. But murdering a child, Brianna, I can't. Y'all know I buried myself. I couldn't. You know what I'm saying. But she's a narcissist. She thinks she done got away.
Yeah, and she keep throwing it all off on her parents like she had no involvement. Like she took no accountability for anything. Everything was my parents. And anytime a question was posed to her that she felt like was kind of hard, she went back to trauma. And then that they started talking to experts who backed up this trauma. This girl been working on this for years.
It's something she'll say that they can't double jeopardy her. I don't know what she charged with, first degree, second degree, or third degree, but they can charge her with a lesser charge that will give her like I don't know who all up here. I see Nubi and Brianna and who else?
Lady Proverbs, Crystal.
Hey, baby. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? They shit. 5 years, 10 years, 6 years will do us some good. They could charge her with manslaughter. Let her keep running her mouth. Because she is really a narcissist. She got some motherfucking nerve to do this. And as far as Peacock, Brianna, you know, they tell them, like, you know, they have attorneys or whatever, and they probably tell them, like, what questions they could ask or what she's, you know, what she's allowed to say if they want a movie or a production or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like they was just letting her. They probably had went over what she gonna ask, what they gonna ask, what she gonna say. But let her keep talking. That bitch a narcissist. She really thinks she done got away with some shit. And she did this. She did this for money. She broke. Like Auntie Bless did today. Look at Wendy Williams' husband. You bitch. She broke. They narcissists.
She really thought she was doing something. I mean, the way she came in there, she started the interview with overkill. Because girl, if you got your baby sonogram, you got huge ass picture you sticking up on the wall in this Airbnb that you only gonna be in for a week or two, and it's like you so engrossed with your baby, but you that into your baby, you ain't see your baby funeral until you did this interview. Everybody done seen Kayla after the funeral on TV. You mean to tell me this is when you finally put the missing pieces to the puzzle together and came up with the idea that your daddy had possibly been molesting your child? It went too far. He killed her. He dumped her in the pool and then lied to you about it. Girl, get the fuck out of here. I'm not hearing that.
Now we got new questions. Now we got new things she's saying. That bitch a narcissist, but let her keep talking. Somebody will tear it apart. And like I said, they can't do a double jeopardy, but they can charge her with a lesser charge.
Or they can start making sure that everywhere anytime she do anything, they gonna make a big deal out of it and get her ass about it.
Or like the young lady said, street justice.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening? I got to go, y'all. I got to go, y'all. I'm talking to my neighbor, but I just wanted to let my sister know I was listening. I'm still listening.
Okay, boo. Thank you.
All right, love y'all. What's up? What you doing? What you doing, heifer?
But yeah, that girl something else. That girl is diabolical, man. That girl, the way she was able to come in and out of these emotions. And like I said, when she finally got ready to tell us what she believed had happened, how this so-called revelation hit her as well as the two men who were being interviewed who were roommates with the boyfriend at the time. Now the whole interview they saying they don't understand how she acted the way she did. They don't understand how a mother could let their child be missing for 31 days. But once Casey came in with the powwow, which is, oh, my daddy did this to my daughter, and then he ran off with her, and I mean, come on. All of a sudden, they done had a revelation. Like, wow, that changes everything. No, it wasn't nothing that Helper said that we didn't hear years ago, other than the fact that she done finally just throwed it in her daddy's lap.
Well, did she take accountability for anything? Like for the sake of
No,
stupidity, let's say that she didn't do it, that her dad, did she, any part of her feel like I could have done this differently? I could, any accountability at all?
the only thing she took accountability on is I'm a liar, but I didn't lie about this. That's all.
Oh, wow.
She didn't feel nothing, and them tears were not sincere to me. That was rehearsed. It was bad acting, but acting nonetheless. I wasn't impressed by anything that came out that girl's mouth. Nothing that she said sounded, because I could go back in the old transcripts, go listen to a Crime Weekly podcast, because they did a full I think it was like 5 or 6 part breakdown of this where they went into these people's lives and they really researched. I could go listen to that and debunk her whole 3-part interview. Everything she said. Hell, I was over here debunking her shit so hard, I was wondering, should I had went to law school? Because it was easy to do. But I just don't understand how the prosecution dropped the ball. Because y'all let her kill her free. And now she's back a little over 10 years later to spew some more bullshit in our face.
Do you think it was because of the color of her skin?
Yeah, she got the complexion protection. Bria, if that would have happened to me, girl, I'd be still in prison.
We would have all been under a microscope. And I know I sound like a broken record. I just keep going back to these 31 days. Let me tell y'all, this past weekend, I didn't see them honey grands. On Saturday afternoon, I sent the group text that said 2 words, say, bruh. By 4:30, guess what? It was 10 little short people at my doorstep because my kids already knew. I ain't seen my grandbabies. What the hell y'all doing? Get them to me. 31 days.
That's the part that don't make sense to me. How do you explain to a jury of people that your child was missing for 31 days and you and your parents are all in the same house 31 days? Unless you saying that she had gone to the boyfriend's house, unless that were 3 states away, somebody better explain something to me. You needed to have gone way, way, way far away.
They didn't drive over there.
That part. But did they walk over there? You ain't got about your grandchild. It's different. See, we get to acting the fool because our children tend to get on our nerves. But when it comes to grandchildren, your parents will walk from Jacksonville to Fort Lauderdale by some grandkids. You try it if you want to. Try it if you want to now. So yeah, that don't make no sense to me. Somebody need to make sense, because ain't nothing that y'all said to me so far that she said is adding up. 1 + 1 is not equaling 2. Her math ain't mathing.
And her parents either. I just, like you said, that grandparent love, that's a different kind of love. Now, I love my children, but them honey grands, that's a whole different ball game.
Okay, girl, I don't know what happened. Xfinity just played with me the long way. Damn. But anyway, we back. Yeah, I ain't understand that, and I ain't like that. I ain't falling for her. I hope that this leads to people looking back at her again. I want her to get everything she deserved and then some. I just don't. I don't know what new stuff they gonna find, LSA boss, but I just feel like this was stupid. And I do feel like that her conscience is the reason why she can't shut the hell up. Because she know what happened to her daughter.
But you know what? Let me play devil's advocate real quick. Because we're talking about what we think that she did and the part that we think that her dad plays. To be completely honest, I don't put nothing past her mama either. Although her mom may have been the person that required that phone call to be made, her mama gonna require that phone call to be made because at this point, it's been 31 freaking days. So if somebody don't get the ball rolling, then something's gonna shake and we all finna end up in prison. Now, the fact that her daughter was stupid enough to not have no emotion in the phone call is her daughter's ignorance. But again, as somebody just said in the chat, 31 days, her mama should have made her come up missing.
If she'd have been my daughter, she would have been missing. I don't understand. I just think that this was horrible for her to even do this interview. This was it just woke up all the emotions I went through when this was a case, a big case.
And that's what I was going to ask you. Like I said, I didn't watch this interview, but I was there, in real time when the case was going on. Lady Nika, did you feel like it just opened up old wounds?
Yes. That's why it took me all these days to be able to even talk about it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
How old was the Casey when she passed away?
How old was Casey at the time? Okay, she's 36 now, so we have to count back, but 11 years. The baby was 3.
Okay, 3. So she wasn't in daycare or nothing like that. She was just, family just looked after her and stuff like that, right?
It's supposed to have been a nanny.
So, okay, so she was working, so where did she get money to where she could afford a nanny?
Come on, ask questions, baby.
Okay, the reason why, the way she was supposedly able to, first she lied to her parents. She was telling them she was still working at Universal Studios Orlando, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all Floridians correct me, but Universal Studios, that's what she said. But in the interview, she said she worked for Universal Studios, but she hadn't worked there in some years. She was actually working the nightlife to save up money to move out.
To me.
Huh?
Sound like a prostitute.
Well, Brie, she was a hoe.
Oh.
And if the boyfriend was the DJ, then the baby could have stayed at home with her parents while she was doing everything that she was wanting to do, because that's what she had been doing before anyway.
Correct.
But I don't think the parents was going to let her run out and have this social life. That's why she was making all those social media posts.
The thing is, if your daddy was around molesting you and all of that, why you going to leave your child over there with him anyway?
According to her in the interview, she never allowed her father to be home or left alone with Kaylee. However, during this trial, that's what she said, but Bree, we debunked that years ago, because when this was a big case, when this had national attention, they were showing home videos of times where he was with that baby. He was taking care of the baby, but I just don't think that she could drop him off on the parents to go and live this jet set life and hang out with all her friends. They wouldn't let her do that. I think when it was necessary for work purposes or something important, they did watch her. But up until, the whole time she was saying that she had this nanny. Had that poor lady whole life drug up, because they did find Zendaya, they called her Zanny the nanny. They found her, but she didn't have nothing to do with no Casey.
That's Zanny the nanny.
Yeah, she knew the woman, but the woman never was no nanny for her. She just threw that lady life out there and had people because the media was so trying to find out where this nanny was because up until December of that year, it was said that she was still alive and with this nanny. So we thinking that this woman is done kidnapped this girl baby and she, maybe have left the country and everything else. They ended up locating Zendaya. But Zendaya knew Casey, but she never babysitted for her. She lied.
Oh, you was lying to me.
And for months had lied to her family, telling them that she was dropping the baby off at the nanny to go to work at Universal Studios. Girl.
Okay, so whenever she said that she lied, but she ain't lied about this, what all did she actually agree that she lied on?
She said she should have told them from the beginning what her father had done with the baby that day. She admits she lied about that. She said she told little white lies in her life, but that was her coping mechanism because she was traumatized about the things that had happened in her family.
So she didn't say that she lied about the nanny.
No, she said that the way. Well, yeah, she did own lying about the nanny, but the way she put it was, the nanny did exist, but she wasn't watching her at that time. Even though this woman done been caught, they done had a whole interview with the woman on TV saying, "I know her, but I never watched her baby." She still said the woman was watching the baby. Casey lied a lot.
Kizamita said she right here besmirchifying that woman good name.
That's what she was doing, Kingsmina. And I don't like the besmirchification of nobody good name. That's some bullshit. She did besmirchify. I mean, do y'all know how bad? Man, I was on Facebook weighing this hoe out. Like, girl, get that woman back her damn baby. We thought the woman had went to Mexico with the girl baby. Had my dumb ass, I thought I seen a sighting one time. I called a tip line.
You out here swinging at the air.
I called the tip line and said I thought I had a sighting of her. I don't know what they did with it. They just had me give them the information and where I thought I saw it. But that was far as it went. But we're thinking she has left the country. She had to come through my parts of the woods to get there. Because they had checked, she hadn't flown out nowhere. I mean, they wore this lady out, dug up this lady, life stuff that we didn't even need to know about Zendaya. We found out about her. That was a mess. It was a mess. And to me, watching this interview, and I'm gonna start being careful what I have to protect my peace. This messed me up. Yeah, they doxed the shit out of Zendaya. All this did was take me back to the hours I spent in front of the TV because Nancy Grace didn't let it go. Nancy was on the case. She was getting jailhouse interviews, jailhouse conversations. I mean, she was on this and I was there every single day, rushing home to get home from work so I can get in front of the TV and find out the latest. Checking the Facebook to see what's going on all throughout the day. I got really involved in this case. I really did. So for this helper to come back over 10 years later and bring all this shit back up and to lie, because she lied. She's fucking lying. Her and her daddy know what happened. Now, what part Cindy knew, I don't know, but Cindy knew something. But George and Casey knew it all because they were the two that was in the house that day. Remember, Cindy was working 16-hour shifts as a nurse to keep up the family facade that they were doing so well, and they was this all-American, wholesome, upper middle class family. She was working her ass off to do that. I don't know, child. That was me. Yeah, they did. They doxed and had people calling that woman. They drugged that woman through the mud for months. And the whole time, Casey knew that she was lying. And she allowed, just like she lied about working at Universal Studios, let them people take her all the way to Universal Studios, walking through the building, speaking to people. But these folks are speaking, but they ain't speaking like they know you. They speaking like, okay, she's speaking, let me speak back. That's the courteous thing to do. Only to get off an elevator on the floor that kind of ended. It was a dead end. To turn around when she realized she's at the dead end of this hallway, turn around and tell the police, okay, I don't work here. She had them folks go to this apartment complex where this so-called nanny lives, where she says she dropped her daughter off at, only for them folks to find out not only is there's no answer at the door, but this apartment been vacant for months.
And we believe any of what she said again?
You believe nothing? I ain't never believed nothing came out of her mouth. She's a pathological liar. And she really I don't think she truly understands what she doing here. I think guilt is making her run her mouth because we, the public, have left you alone. But see, them demons in your mind won't let you shut up. So you came out here with this interview for coin and to try to sway public opinion because you think that a lot of people don't forgot. But we ain't forget. All you did was make us go back and pull up old podcasts, pull up old shows. These shows are still archived on CNN and HLN. We can still go see the Nancy Grace show. We can debunk what you're saying here. Now, her daddy, I ain't never feel like her daddy was innocent. I always felt like it was something creepy about him. But to put it all in his lap and say it was all him and you won't take no account of, girl. She didn't apologize, Desiree. She didn't apologize to anybody in that in this interview. She didn't even apologize to her child. Girl, this lady was something serious. She was a piece of work. And she worked 10 years. She waited a little over 10 years to get her terminology correct, to build this story so she can come and tell us allegedly what she went through. Girl. Correct, Connie. The truth is the truth. It don't need nothing to go along with it because the truth stands alone. She needed all those expert witnesses from back then to help her tell her story. She needed the investigator who I got a strong suspicion she messed around with at some point in time. He old as fuck now, but that don't mean nothing because she's a nasty one. She did all these people. So that's all I really had to say about it. I won't be checking for nothing else dealing with her. The only time I talk about this help again is when she caught up in something. Because they might not can get you on this, baby. But you will be closely watched. And if you do anything wrong, they're going to wear your ass out. Because the police department there still feels some kind of way about that. They know they dropped the ball. The prosecution know they dropped the ball. And a lot of the jurors from that trial still feel some kind of way about it. So
I told her they locked her up for jaywalking.
They're going to get her for something. But that was my commentary for today. Y'all want to say y'all final words? Because I'm finna shut down and get up out of here.
I just can't wait till she go to prison for whatever it is she going to end up going for.
Because she going. Right. You better believe she going.
I don't have nothing else to say about this wench because this done got under my skin. I will say to you all, go love on somebody. Hug your babies. Kiss your children. knock your husband all upside the head, because this is just too much. And Lady Nika, I have a true crime story that I want to talk to you about it. And I think if you are willing, we're going to tell this story together.
Oh,
So I'll
okay.
be getting in touch with you about that soon. Thanks for
Oh,
letting me come up. I have enjoyed this in a sense, I guess. I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but thanks for letting me come up. I love
love
y'all. Y'all have a good day.
you too, boo. Yeah, I got to go eat some. I ain't ate all day. My stomach touching my back here. That ain't good. But that shit was. Chris, I can't wait for her to go to prison. I want her to go to prison so bad. I want her life to be bad because she
It's
didn't even
not.
get his chance. So this baby didn't even have a chance.
You best believe that it's gonna happen. All you gotta do is wait her out from being stupid because she done already started talking. And so like whenever people in prison, once they start talking, it's like they don't figure out how to shut up. So now that she started opening her mouth, it's gonna be like diarrhea of the mouth, and she gonna keep talking, and people gonna keep asking her questions, and she gonna mess around and slip.
Yeah, she is. She gonna slip bad. She gonna slip, and I'm gonna be right here to talk about how she slipped. Because until something like that happens, I will never revisit this story again until justice is truly sought and come for that child who didn't even have a chance. Beautiful little baby girl, too. Beautiful little baby. I don't know why she said that. Yeah, Miss Brown, baby, she said it's all the daddy. She took no accountability for anything throughout the whole 3-part interview. This lady didn't take no accountability for anything. And I guess it was kind of asinine on my part to think that she would. But it's the reason why she talking, and it's more than money. That much I can tell. I'm coming. It was more than money that made her talk. Like I said, she got a way of weighing on you. And I think that she's being weighed upon. Because we'd have moved on, but she's still stuck there. She keep trying to tell a story. Once you tell a story, girl, what do you have to say more than that? You don't have nothing else. Yes, baby, Nancy Grace did not play no game, and now she involved in Shanquilla. I heard she did an interview with Shanquilla's mama. I gotta watch that, and then I'll come back and we'll discuss that because I'm gonna transition from this baby on over there to Shanquilla because I haven't been giving her justice. But it that kind of all this stuff is heavy, especially if you're a person who actually go and do some research. I don't watch just one video and then I come tell the story. No. I watch several videos. I do a lot of online research. I do a lot of work to come and talk to y'all about the stuff that I talk to y'all about. And it's been a lot, child. It's been a lot. It took me days to be able to discuss this. This shit came out, I think, on the 20 something, child. And here I am, this December the 5th. I'm finally here to talk about it. I could have came and did a video. I just couldn't bring myself to talk about it. But I want to thank you all so much for watching. Remember, we do have our Christmas ugly sweater contest that we will be having over in the Bayou. Okay, that's going to be on December the 23rd at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. The link to my second channel, if it ain't in the chat, you guys can get it off of the homepage. Scroll down and you'll see featuring my other channels is Bayou Conversation. Oh, there it is in the chat. So y'all make sure y'all subscribe over there and turn your notification bell buttons on so that you can come over and have a good time with us here in the den. No, we ain't gonna be in the den. We're gonna be in the Bayou, girl. We're going to the damn by you. So get your ugliest Christmas sweater, child, and come on out and let us see it. And if you don't want to participate, you don't have to. It's a Christmas party nonetheless. We're going to have music, we'll have drinks, and we're going to have a good time, okay? So y'all dropped a purple hearts for me at this time. Thank you for the donation that came through. I appreciate you. I'm going to play the Christmas commercial made by Dolly's Game. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to Dolly's Game. She gave us this beautiful Christmas commercial, the advertisement for it, and then I'm going to play the outro and I'll be gone. Y'all have a wonderful remainder to your day. I plan on doing the same. Until next time. Okay, let me get y'all the commercial up here that Dolly did. It was real good. Demetri, I hate you missed this, girl, but we can revisit it. Here's the commercial, and then we'll do the outro, and y'all can be dropping the purple hearts. Yes, ma'am, Miss Reese's, their packages did arrive. I don't know which ones arrived because I'm going to wait until the 23rd of the night of the party for me to open up everything that you guys have sent. And thank you to everybody who cared enough to do something special for me. That really touched my heart. Y'all have no idea how much I appreciate y'all.